It's time for Yankton Bucks football on Classic Hits 106.3 and Yankton streaming on YouTube. Brought to you by our corporate sponsor, First Dakota National Bank of Yankton, and the following Sportscaster Club members: Midwest Insurance Agency, Murph's Appliance, Yankton Thrive, Stockman's Motorsports, Les Schwab Tires, MT and RC Smith Insurance Agency, Linda's Angel Crossing, Hy-Vee, Boss's Pizza and Chicken, Vichy, Elwood Dental, Raven Books, Floortech Cleaning and Restoration, Angela's Mexican Store, Yankton Rexall, KFC Taco Bell, SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab, Dragonfly, Slumberland, Larry's Heating and Cooling, America's Best Realty, Larson Carpet, Elkhorn Valley Bank and Trust, King Buffet and Mongolian Grill, Kaiser Heating and Cooling, Yankton Medical Clinic, All Seasons Power Sports, Wentz and Ray Funeral Home and Cremation Service, JR's Oasis, Intech Cleaning and Restoration, The Bone Setter, Kalen's Indoor Comfort, Triple Time Rudy's, Farmers Union Insurance, Meridian Photo, Ram Tire, Pied Piper Flowers and Gifts Yankton, and H&H Roofing. Now to the field with the voice of Bucks football, Zach Spear.
Hello and welcome to Joe Quintal Field in Mitchell, South Dakota, as the Yankton Bucks have their regular season finale against the Mitchell Kernels. I'm Zach Spear, joined alongside Patrick Olson on color commentary for tonight, and running the stream and camera, Eve Hawley. It is the final game of the regular season. Yankton Athletics are on Classic Hits 106.3 and Yankton streaming on YouTube, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank of Yankton. First Dakota has proudly supported the dreams and banking needs of their customers for over 150 years. They offer personal, business, and ag banking solutions for every stage of your journey with 2 locations, downtown and North Broadway, Yankton. And just like that, we're at the final regular season game of the year. In this one, the Yankton Bucks are on the road to take on the Mitchell Kernels at Joe Quintal Field. Yankton enters the game as the number 2 seed in AA with a 6-2 record, while the Kernels are 1-7, which puts them as the number 10 seed in AA. For Yankton, still a huge game as they try to stay at the top of AA to receive home field advantage through the playoffs and hopefully until the Dome. For Mitchell, they're certainly not a pushover. 1-7, their record doesn't quite reflect what they are as a team. Let's look at this year's numbers. For Yankton, they score 32.5 points per game. It is the most in AA. For Mitchell, just shy of 17 points per game. Points allowed, in this category, Yankton just keeps getting better, now down to 21.8 points per game allowed. And Mitchell allows just over 32 points per game, which is the second most allowed in AA, following only Douglas. Now for Yankton, their average game, they win by 10.8 points per game. In Mitchell, their average game is a loss of 8.5 points per game. Certainly feels like a game where Yankton can right the ship on offense. And I know that seems like an odd thing to say after they put up 31 against T-Area last week, but 7 points were from their defense, and Bestie had a couple of interceptions that didn't quite look like his normal. I'd like to see the Bucks with as much of a mistake-free game on that side of the ball as possible. For Mitchell, it's going to be a hard game. They're going to have long drives to give their defense some rest, and as you'll later hear Coach Larson talk about, finishing when getting to the red zone. On paper, Yankton the favorite tonight, but ask anyone who has played against the Kernels. Mitchell is much tougher than what their record might show. Again, in the standings, Yankton at 2, Mitchell at 10. Have taken on a few of the same teams. They both took on Huron. Yankton beat them by 17. Mitchell fell to them by 24. Against Douglas, Yankton won 63-6, and Mitchell won 57-0. Against Watertown, Yankton beat them 52-26. Mitchell fell 18-46. Against Brookings, Yankton won a close one, 14-7, with Mitchell 40-0 they lost. And against T-Area, Yankton a big 31-7 win over them. That was just last week, and Mitchell lost 26-20 in a close one. Speaking of that game against T-Area, it's time for your highlights, brought to you by Larson Carpet, the best flooring for your space, lifestyle, and budget. Let's take a watch and listen live to those highlights now. Tate Bestie with a trio of receivers to the right. Drops back, looks to throw it deep this time. Carter Boomsma's open. It's caught at the 40-yard line. Carter Boomsma dragged down finally at the 29. As the running back, he puts this one into the air. Carter Boomsma pulls it in. Boomsma to the 30, the 20. He beat his defender. He'll bring it in. They were stopped on a 4th and short right up the middle. They fake it. Edley Amaro gets the sack. Run up the middle. Ball's on the ground. This one scooped up by Yankton into the hands of the Bucks all the way to the touchdown. A strong eye formation here. They'll give it to the fullback, and that one stopped at the line of scrimmage. The area with the football. Again, a handoff on the option, brought down behind the line of scrimmage, Carter Brown. Snap drops back in medium pressure, this one lofted high up, in and out of the hands, intercepted. Yankton picks this one off. Up to the 37-yard line, Tegan LaCroix the interception. Into motion goes Eidsness. It's a play action. Bestie fires it deep, in stride with Owen Eidsness, somehow pulls it in. Strong formation again here, and a late delayed handoff. Edley Amaro in pursuit, brings him down at the 10-yard line. Final shot, Dasha Lowry just lofts it up near the end zone. This time picked off, Tegan LaCroix's got it. As they do look to throw it now across the middle, picked off! This one going the other direction! Yankton has it, Carter Boomsma gets by the first defender, falls down at the 8-yard line. Two receivers to the right, one to the left, Sidlacek powers it up the middle, falls forward into the end zone, touchdown! I like the call, you've got to score here, and now a fake handoff, Dasha Lowry stopped! Tate Bestie, he'll take the snap and give it to Sidlacek, plenty of room to go through the middle, tries getting to the outside, then brings it back into the 23! So Bestie will take the snap, a high snap, pulls it in again, goes the same direction, caught into the end zone. Owen Eidsness, touchdown Yankton. Really been a game that Yankton has controlled from start to finish. Dasha Lowry again just airs this one out and picked off yet again. Again, those are last week's highlights against T-Area, brought to you by Larson Carpet. As always, got a chance to talk with both head coaches. It's Patrick Larson for the Kernels. As always, Brady Muth of the Bucks. We'll take a quick break, and when we return, we'll listen to that chat with Coach Patrick Larson of the Kernels.
Hi, I'm Franny Kiefer with the Yankton School District Alumni Association. We strive to create a community of alumni and friends who support extracurricular and educational opportunities in the Yankton School District through scholarships, grants, innovative education opportunities, and staff appreciation. With us, you will keep connected to a community of Yankton School District alumni and friends all over. You can help continue to pay it forward and help future graduates. Register today at the Yankton School District Alumni Association website.
Your local KFC Taco Bell at 2504 Fox Run Parkway in Yankton offers two menus combined into one. Something for everyone at KFC Taco Bell. When your family's hungry and can't decide between crispy chicken and mashed potatoes or tacos, burritos, and protein bowls, well, you don't have to choose. Get the best of both worlds in one stop. Cool down with the legendary Baja Blast Freeze or heat things up with a variety of hot sauces. KFC Taco Bell Yankton. Why pick one when you can have both?
Hello and welcome to our Coaches Conversations. Now joining over the line is head coach Patrick Larson of the Mitchell Kernels. Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Excited for more football. Always excited for football. Could you tell me about your season so far?
Well, our season's been one of growth. It doesn't show on our record with where our record currently sits, but our team has progressively gotten better as the season's gone on, and we embarked in this season on revamping our offensive and defensive schemes and trying to reinvent the way we run this program here in Mitchell, and our kids have bought in, and the coaching staff's done a great job. And like I said, that the record doesn't show the improvement, but all of our statistical measurements, our offense is up, our defense is better, our scoring's up, our points allowed is down. It's just everything shows that we're improving. We just can't find a way to get those wins right now.
And you talk about the growth and improvement. Could you tell me where you've seen the most growth?
Well, it's in all phases of the game. Like we switched from being a pass-based offense to being a predominantly run-based offense this year, and our rushing yards have massively improved. But our passing yardage isn't monstrously behind where it was last year, because when we do pass the ball, it's more effective because it actually isn't just little dink and dunk passes where it's just trying to throw the ball down the field a little bit more, take some shots. And then defensively, we've fiddled with some different things schematically wise, and we've settled in on a 4-4 defense, and that's been working really good for us. And it's just helping us take teams to take a facet of their running game away from their offenses a lot of the time and try to turn teams into throwing teams, which is always more beneficial for the defensive squad.
And now you host the Yankton Bucks. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
Well, Yankton, based on what we've seen on film, is going to be the best AA team we're going to face all year. I mean, it's unquestioned. They are a machine. They are really, really good. They're solid in all facets of the game, and that's just something that Coach Muth and the rest of his staff down there have always been known for, is having a solid program, and it's going to be a really stiff challenge for us.
And it's going to be senior night for you and your team. Could you tell me about that group of guys on your team and how they've contributed?
That senior group is hugely important because, again, we're overhauling a program while they're in their senior year. So we told these kids at the beginning of this season that, these seniors may not see the benefits of all these changes we're going to make during this season. And I think they have seen some of the benefits, but they're not seeing the wins. And we told them, when you come back to this program in 3, 4, 5 years and you can see where the program is at and you can say that, hey, I was a part of helping turn that program around. And it's just their leadership and their willingness to be good teammates and to be, buy into what we're doing, even though they may not reap the full benefit of it right away. It's just been huge for our program.
And you talk about how they might not have seen the success necessarily in the win column, but, it is rewarding to see the team get better and better week in, week out, and to be the leaders on the team. Where have you seen it the most, the leadership from these guys? Well,
it's in every facet of what we do. Weight room, we lift 2 times a week during the season, and there are leaders on the field, and they lead us in the games. Our leading rushers are both seniors. Our leading tacklers are both seniors. Our kicker, who's having a really good season, is a senior. So it's just their embeddedness in the program and their willingness to do whatever it takes to get this program back to a better spot. And that's where I've seen it all. It's in every facet of what we do.
And so, who are a few players we should expect to be making plays in this one?
Well, offensively, it's going to be our 2 main ball carriers, our Logan Bessler and Caden Allen, both those seniors that I was talking about. There are 2 main ball carriers this season. They've handled the load. Logan Bessler last year played tight end for us, and now he's playing fullback. Caden Allen had played linebacker the last 2 years, hadn't carried the ball at all on offense, and he's our second leading rusher. So those are 2 of the names carrying the ball. We've got a sophomore kid playing a quarterback in Brady Hazing, who stepped in for our senior quarterback who got hurt right before the Aberdeen game and hasn't been able to come back. So we got a sophomore kid playing quarterback who's going to be, we're hoping is going to be really good for us the next couple of years. On the defensive side of the ball, our 2 leaders over there are Colton Smith. You might probably know his name from playing basketball. We got him out for football this year, and he's been playing defensive end, outside linebacker, kind of a hybrid spot for us. He's had 3 pick sixes and leads our team in sacks and leads our team in tackles and leads our team in tackles for loss. And it's his first year playing. And then Luke LeBrun's a returner for us from last year. He's playing outside linebacker. He was one of our leaders defensively last year, and he's one of our leaders again this year. And it's just those good kids to have on both sides of the ball, really making things work for us as best they can.
And if there was just a couple things you'd like to see your team do well, what would those 2 things be?
Well, we would love to finish some drives. We've had some drives this year. We've had 18, 19 play drives that go, 80, 90 yards, and then we just stall in the red zone and can't score. And that would be the biggest thing I'd like to see us do offensively, is just finish drives. And that's going to be extremely tough given when we know Yankton's going to be putting on the field defensively. But that would be something I'd love to see. And then defensively, getting off the field. We put ourselves in a lot of good situations in 3rd and long or 4th down situations, and we just sometimes just can't find ways to get off the field. So, that would be something I'd love to see us improve on, in this game as well.
Well, Coach, thanks for the time. I appreciate it, and I look forward to a great game.
Thanks. I appreciate the time.
Again, that was head coach Patrick Larson of the Mitchell Kernels on our Coaches Conversations. Up next, head coach Brady Muth of the Bucks, all on Classic Hits 106.3 in Yankton, streaming on YouTube.
Kaiser Heating and Cooling is your hometown team specializing in all things heating and cooling, as well as heat and glow gas, wood, and electric fireplaces, humidifiers and dehumidifiers, and all styles of ductless mini-split systems. Whether you are building or remodeling, our team of innovative experts will get you the correct equipment and indoor air quality accessories you need for your home or business. Remember, Kaiser Heating and Cooling is your hometown team for all things heating and cooling for the past 77 years. Go Bucks and Gazelles.
Looking for a photo that actually looks like you, but better? At Meridian Photo, we specialize in capturing personality, not just poses. Whether it's headshots, high school seniors, family sessions, or team and individual sports photos, we'll make you look like a legend. We've just landed in the Meridian district of Yankton. Book your session today at meridian-photo.com or give us a call at 605-655-4598. Meridian Photo. Be you. You deserve it.
Back on our Coaches Conversations, chatting with Bucks head coach Brady Muth. Coach, your team coming off a huge 31-7 win over T-Area. What went so well in that game for your team?
We were more physical. I know I sound like a broken record because I say it every week, but it really starts and ends with how physical you are, and blocking and tackling is an expression of how physical you are. I thought both Coach Olson and Coach Huber did a really good job of putting together a really good game plan, but it really comes down to our kids just executed and we're more physical.
And the whole team executed, but one player really did stand out with Tegan LaCroix and 3 interceptions. It's not often you get that kind of performance from one player.
Yeah, and that's team defense. I mean, those interceptions happened because of pressure that was created by our front. And so, I mean, Tegan's the star of that play, and he should be, because an interception's a big deal, and he made 3 of them, and they were really, really good plays. But on the other side of that is that's happening because we're getting pressure out of our front, and it's making things real difficult for the offense. And so complementary football typically ends up with really big plays, and Tegan really showed up on those for us.
Coming up, you've got your regular season finale against the Kernels in Mitchell. What are your thoughts on this one?
You know, Mitchell is a real big physical football team, and I think Mitchell, more than any other school, you know, it epitomizes any week. It's any team any week, and you cannot get caught up looking at Mitchell's record, and you can't get caught up in looking at their stats. You have to do a lot of film study to really appreciate what they're doing, and they've got some really big athletes that move people around. They've done a really good job of shaping their scheme towards the players that they have in the program right now. They're a challenge because they're a big, tough team that likes to push people around.
So what are you expecting to see them throw at you on both offense and defense?
Yeah, on defense, they'll be an even front, and it'll be fairly similar to what T does. They're not going to drop 8, at least they haven't on film, similar to what Brookings has done. But their front will be challenging in that they'll have added numbers in the box. And so it's one of those things, again, where we have to execute and have success out on the perimeter. Our perimeter players have to kind of be an extension of our run game to help that out. Once the box lightens up a little bit, we can run the football and have some success there. And I think, you know, us offensively, we've done a really good job of calling the right plays and making sure that we're calling what the defense has given us. When they're on offense, they're going to be a run-heavy team. They do have some dangerous athletes out on the perimeter. They've got some big targets to throw to out there. It'll definitely be a size mismatch for us in coverage. But our guys are really good, especially over the top. And so, you know, if we can make sure that we can control the run game with our front 7 and do a good job of making sure we got all the right hats in the right gaps, in the secondary we'll be able to cover things up. But they get together in real tight splits. They push people around. It's going to be a tough sledding for our front.
And how important would it be to wrap up the regular season with a win, heading into the postseason with some momentum?
Yeah, obviously we want to win, and everybody wants to win, and that's really important, but how we win is going to be more important than just the win. And I'm not overlooking, or I'm not saying that we've already got the win wrapped up. It's going to be a tough physical football game, and that's the way we have to play this game. It has to be a tough, hard-fought game, because when we get ready and get into the playoffs, every game is like that. The most physical, the toughest team is going to win. And so, you know, we've put together a game plan to win the football game, and we're going out to win it. But how we win it, we want to be more physical, and we want to make sure that we dominate the line of scrimmage, because that's what you've got to do to have success in late October and November.
We've mentioned the defense seemingly getting better and better just at the right time. Has there been a significant change on that side of the ball, or has the whole squad just started clicking? I know you got a big player back in Easton Feeser.
Yeah, I think that's probably a big part of it. Is we're completely healthy on the offensive side, or on the defensive side of the ball. Our whole roster is finally completely full. We have a full, healthy roster, and so I think part of it is just the guys that are there that are playing. Drotz is back; he's healthy. You said Feeser. But also, there are guys that are starting to show up that have really developed over the course of the season. Jake Bivens is one of those guys. You're going to see a lot more Jake Bivens on defense, because he's really started to really come along, and he's gotten better as the season has been going. So, you know, we've got everybody, like you said, kind of hitting on all cylinders, and we got to have that, you know, defensively. Defensive performance really becomes important as you get later in the season, and you are right, our defense is starting to play at a really high level, and we got to keep it up.
Well, Coach, thanks as always for the time, and go Bucks.
Thanks a lot. Go Bucks.
Again, that was head coach Brittany Muth of the Yankton Bucks on our Coaches Conversations. Up next, the regular season finale as Yankton has made the trip to Mitchell. All here on Classic Hits 106.3 and Yankton streaming on YouTube.
Looking to buy a home or maybe sell? Trust the name that puts you first. America's Best Realty. From your first showing to the final signature, their expert agents guide you every step of the way. Fast closings, top market value, and real service you can count on. Your dream home, they will find it. Selling fast, they will make it happen. Call America's Best Realty at 605-260-1600. America's Best Realty, because you deserve the best.
Larson Carpet has all your flooring needs. Step into their showroom to see a wide selection of all types of flooring. They have soft and luxurious carpet that's sure to bring comfort to your home. Stylized tile to make any room pop. Different color options of hardwood to make matching easy. And convenient vinyl plank for when spills happen. Of course, with the best customer service in the area. Their knowledgeable staff will make sure to answer any questions you might have. Larson Carpet, 212 Walnut.
Do you realize what your Yankton Hy-Vee has to offer? Aisles online, delivery, catering, fresh floral and bakery departments, pharmacy with drive-up and online prescription refills, Hy-Vee Health Market, dietitian service, fresh seafood department, U.S. Postal Substation, take and bake for breakfast and family meal deals. Yes, all that and more is at your Yankton Hy-Vee, located on the corner of 21st Street and Broadway Avenue in Yankton.
Dive into the delicious all-you-can-eat Asian buffet, featuring mouth-watering Asian cuisine like broccoli beef, General Chicken, sesame chicken, so much more. Or choose from a fresh selection of meats, noodles, rice, vegetables, Asian-inspired sauces, and watch them sizzle on the Mongolian grill. Plus tantalizing desserts, including ice cream. Get your fill at King Buffet and Mongolian Grill, North Broadway, Yankton.
Weather around here gets pretty crazy. Are you sure the weather hasn't caused damage to your roof? Let Justice at H&H Roofing in Yankton take any roof damage worries away. He'll come and inspect your roof. Even if you've had an inspection, get a second opinion or re-inspection for your peace of mind. H&H Roofing has built their reputation on working to satisfy homeowners for years. Family owned and operated. H&H Roofing is bonded and insured. Contact Justice today.
Do you like to read? I love to read. So does Rabin Books, your unique bookstore in Yankton, where you'll find thousands of books from brand new to gently used oldies but goodies, all at unbeatable prices. Trade in your old favorites for credit and be able to explore something new. Whether you're a casual reader or a bookworm, Rabin Books is your next chapter, located at 804 Bill Baggs Road. Rabin Books, where every book finds a home.
And back at Joe Quintal Field in Mitchell, South Dakota. Time for your starting lineups, brought to you by Larry's Heating and Cooling of Yankton and Vermilion. For all your heating and cooling needs, it's Larry's Heating and Cooling. Anytime, any day, we'll keep it the same as they do it on the field. The home team, the defense, and the visiting team, their offense. The Bucks have come in their road white jersey, white pants with red helmets, and the jerseys trimmed out in red. For Mitchell, black jersey and pants, everything trimmed out in their yellow. The starting defense for your Mitchell Kernels. Defensive end, number 79, a sophomore, Owen Shelsky. The two D tackles, number 60, junior, Rocky Clark, and number 67, junior, Briar Stack. Other defensive end to the other side, number 7, senior, Colton Smith. The linebackers are made up of number 11, senior, Luke LeBrun, number 42, senior, Logan Bessler, number 40, Baylor Christensen, who's a sophomore, number 40, just add that one. Number 80, Ethan Plamp. The defensive backs for the Kernels are number 41, Nolan Widstrom, number 5, Kyson Herman, and number 28, Samari Wright. Now the starting lineup for your Yankton Bucks offense. The big man up front in the center, number 65, it's Ben Bowman. To the left side of the line, at tackle, number 66, Austin Conway. At guard on the left side, number 68, Jake Walter. On the right side of the line, guard number 77, Peyton Eustace. And to round up that offensive line for the Bucks at right tackle, number 64, it's Drace Gaskins. At the H-back slot for Yankton, number 11, it's Edley Amaro. The running back, number 24, Jason Sedlacek. The receiver duo made up of number 17, Abe O'Brien, and number 14, Cale Hazelhorst. And the slot receiver for the Bucks, number 0, Owen Eidsness. And the guy who runs the offense behind center, that's the quarterback, number 10, Tate Bestie. And those are your starting lineups, brought to you by Larry's Heating and Cooling of Yankton and Vermilion. We near game time, and I imagine we'll have national anthem coming up here. But Patrick, you know, I know the records maybe don't show a close matchup, but Mitchell, a tough team. What would you like to see the Bucks do in this one?
Well, like you said, the record might not show it, but the first and foremost thing is, like you were saying earlier, all their losses on average is by 8 points or less. So this team is going to play you physical. They're going to play you close. I think the big thing here is be able to protect your quarterback, keep him upright, because this offense goes through Tate Bestie. And if you can keep him upright, you're going to score points. You're going to win the game.
And now time for your national anthem. Here we'll leave it here on both Classic Hits 106.3 and Yankton, streaming on YouTube. And honor the country. It'll be the pep band of Mitchell High School. Game is set for 7 o'clock. And here's your national anthem. And again, you just heard the national anthem being played here at Joe Quintal Field. Well, I thought it was going to be the high school pep band. Not quite. But either way, we are getting closer and closer to game time as the Mitchell Kernels host the Yankton Bucks in the regular season finale. For Yankton, definitely an important game as they try to stay as one of the top 2 seeds in Double-A and try and get home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And let's take a look, though, at last week, the numbers. For the Bucks rushing the football, Jason Logic had 22 carries for 74 yards and 1 touchdown. Tate Bestie, 4 carries for 1 yard. Now, 3 of the 4 attempts were quarterback kneels. Owen Eises, 1 carry, he lost 2 yards. Easton Feeser, 1 carry for 1 yard. And Carter Boomsma, 1 rushing attempt, went for 7 yards. Tate Bestie went 18 of 31 for 283 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Catching the football, Owen Eises, 6 receptions, 65 yards, and a touchdown. Cale Hazelhorse, 4 catches, 73 yards. Jason Lachek, 2 receptions for 13 yards. And Carter Boomsma, big game, 3 receptions, 115 yards, and 1 touchdown. Abel Bryan with 2 catches for 16 yards. And Talon Kenny, 1 catch that went for 1 yard. Some big defensive plays. Edley Amaro had a sack. Carter Boomsma, 1 interception. Easton Feeser had a fumble recovery touchdown. And the big story, Tegan LaCroix last week alone, 3 interceptions. I mean, talk about a game for one of your defensive backs. If you're getting 3 interceptions, Patrick, out of 1 player, you're doing pretty good on that side of the ball.
And that's exactly what, as a coach, you call productivity. You know, that's half of an effort from an entire team. If you get one guy that can generate that kind of production, usually you're pretty safe knowing that the opposing quarterback's probably not going to throw to that side of the field.
And Tegan LaCroix did end up with those 3 interceptions. Carter Boomsma already had one as well. Sounds like Yankton, did he say Yankton won the coin toss and deferred? No, Mitchell won the coin toss and deferred. Sometimes tough to hear, but the captain's now shaking hands out at center field. And let's take a look at the media prep poll in Class 11 AA for South Dakota Media Prep Poll. Huron is the 1 spot, Yankton at 2. Pierre is 3rd, Spearfish 4, and T-Area at 5. No changes there. Watertown and Brookings already also receiving votes. In the South Dakota Power 5 poll, we do have a slight shift. Huron is number 1, Yankton is 2, Pierre TF Riggs is 3, T-Area, who was previously not ranked in the 4 spot, Spearfish dropped from the 4th spot to the 5th spot, and now receiving votes, Watertown and Sturgis Brown. Patrick, we are just moments away from game time, and we will see Yankton's offense on the field first. It's something I mentioned. I'd like to see them write the offense here in this week. As you mentioned, keeping Bestie upright is very important for the teams. How can they do that?
Well, I think first and foremost, slowing the game down for your young quarterback and simplifying maybe your game plan. Try to establish the run early and just give him maybe some time to be able to stay on his feet and think. Also on the other side of the field, making sure that your defense isn't on the field long stretches of the game. That's something we've seen earlier this year. The teams are able to really neutralize this offense just by keeping them off the field. And if they can, maybe have a higher time of possession, it's going to maybe help your quarterback stay in rhythm.
And it is time for kickoff here as Hunter McGee lines it up for Mitchell. And the ball is in the air for Yankton. That one caught not very far into their own territory, picked up to the 39 where there's some large contact there. On the return for the Bucks was Kylan O'Connor. He's a senior who we've mentioned he's a threat on special teams for sure. So Yankton, great starting field position though on their first possession here. They'll be at the 40-yard line. The kick really went nowhere.
Now, you can call that basically a squib kick. It bounced about 15 yards down the field, was picked up by the second row, and most of the time a coach will just tell you to jump on that if you're in the second row as a blocker.
And so Yankton, they'll start with it 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line. It is officially game time in the regular season finale. A handoff to Jason Lachek, runs into his blockers, drives it forward for a couple, and will pick up 2 yards on his first carry of the night, 2nd and 8.
That is a really good job by the Kernels defensive ends on the near side to be able to contain the rush, keep everything inside, and not let them contain to the outside.
And one thing you'll notice on a lot of Yankton runs is Owen Eisness gets put into motion because he draws so much energy. And now the first pass attempt for Bestie goes to Owen Eisness off his hands as that pass was just behind him. A better throw, and that's a first down for Yankton.
Yeah, he had Eisness wide open. He needs to settle his feet, take his time and process, get his feet settled to complete that pass.
And this is kind of what I had mentioned about Yankton. Try and get that offense clicking like we know they can. And right now, 2 plays, 2 yards, kind of unusual for them. And now 2 backs in alongside. Tate Bestie will drop back, fires this one. Had Cale Hazelhorse wide open. Missed it. It sails out of bounds, and that will be the first stop for the Kernels defense. And Patrick, another missed opportunity. That would have been a first down.
And that's what we were talking about right before this drive started, maybe trying to simplify your things for your quarterback, easy completions. They didn't do it that time, and they only took about a minute off the clock, game clock total.
11:19 to play, so 41 seconds on that first possession, and the punting team out here, Liam Villanueva to boot it away. We know he's got a leg. Couple of Kernels back to return this one. Is this one put high up on the near side of the field? It'll bounce around the 24-yard line, picked up at the 16, and that is where he'll be brought down on the return. Nolan Widstrom, and not really much of a return, more so caught it, fell over because he saw the Bucs special teams closing in, and smart move, he didn't want to get laid out, Patrick.
You could hear some of the fans complaining, thinking he called for a fair catch, but all he did was just jump on the football, so he was technically fair game.
So 1st and 10 now for this Mitchell offense. They'll start on their own 16-yard line, and their offense with the first opportunity of the night, as it'll be Brady Hazing will take under center a sophomore quarterback who was not their starter to start the year. 1 receiver on each side far out, as he'll take the snap and hand it off here. Up the middle goes Caden Allen. He gets a good pickup, breaks the first tackle across to the 42-yard line, and a big pickup right out of the gates, 26 yards for Caden Allen.
And that's how you establish your presence as an offense. It was fake the handoff up the middle of the halfback, run the wing around to the outside. He's able to misdirection. The entire defense flows one way, the ball carrier goes the other way, and that's a big carry to start the game.
So Caden Allen picks up 26 on his first attempt of the night. And as you said, that's a great way to establish the run game if you're Mitchell. Now working from the shotgun here is Hazing. He'll take the snap, drops back, looks to throw it, faces pressure, gets rid of it. This one caught just barely up to the 47-yard line and brought down as Logan Bessler on the reception. That's a nice job right there by Hazing just to get about a 4 or 5 yard pickup. What could have been a big loss there.
They let that pressure come. That was a design screen pass. The offensive line allows the pressure to come through really fast. Quarterback leaks out and just able to dump it off to the fullback on the outside and pick up a decent gain of about 5.
2nd and 6 here for the Kernels, as that they'll put them at the 41-yard line. 2 positive plays for the Kernels offense, and they've moved the ball from their own 16, now at their own 46-yard line. 30 yards gained is behind the line of scrimmage. The Bucks are going to send that one nowhere.
Number 64, Drace Gaskins, busts through the offensive line right out of the gate, able to wrap the running back up the minute he gets the ball, and what a big play for this Bucks defense.
A loss of 3 on that one for Caden, and now it's a 3rd and long situation. You go from a 2nd and 6 feeling pretty decent about your chance. 3rd and 9, we've seen Yankton's defense put offenses into this situation so frequently. Usually they're pretty good when they can just pin their ears back and target that QB. 2 receivers to the right, 1 off to the left. Out of the shotgun here is Hazing. Hazing takes the snap. He'll flip it. A little trickery might have got Yankton off balance across midfield and to Yankton's side of the field. Luke LeBrun with a big pickup and a 1st down conversion.
Quick jet sweep from the outside. That was just basically what we saw to start the game with the end around just out of the spread formation. And they're doing a really, really good job about getting that defense to suck one way and moving the ball the exact opposite way and using misdirection to their advantage.
And that's absolutely right. The misdirection has been the reason for those 2 pickups. On the carry was Luke LeBrun. He got 17, 1st and 10. Kernels moving the ball at Yankton's 41-yard line. The first play we've seen in opponent's territory. Right back up the middle, they move it. Logan Bessler with it in his hands. Picks up a few before he's just totally swallowed up by that Yankton defense.
Zach, this is exactly what we talked about before the game. This is a physical Mitchell Kernels team. They're going to play you as hard as anybody they've played all year, and they're not going to lay down and give you the win automatically.
And that's exactly, Coach Muth talked about it, saying physicality is going to be the thing. Now, he mentions physicality every week, but he said with Mitchell, you've got to be ready for a hard-fought battle because they're going to bring it to you. And he said the game is going to be won or lost in the trenches here. 2nd and 6 here, taking the snap, a direct quarterback run, stuffed. Madden McQuaid, a great play for this Yankton defense, stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
It's a really good job by Madden McQuaid. Shed the blocker, able to wrap up the quarterback before he's able to pick up any head of steam and get downfield.
And we'll watch the replay on Yankton streaming on YouTube. It's brought to you by Yankton with Nelson, 2nd generation, family-owned, and supporting the local community, including Yankton athletics since 1981. Madden McQuaid shot through that, just busted that play. 3rd and 6 now for Mitchell, and clearly out of field goal range at this point. You wonder if they can pick up a few, if they might be going for it on 4th down here. A receiver far out, 1 to the left, 1 to the right. They've got a fullback and a halfback in. They'll fake the handoff, play action, rolling out now. Pressure for Hazing, just has to get rid of the football. It falls incomplete, and Yankton's defense, a big 3rd down stop.
Number 85, Jacob Bivens, a really good job pressuring the quarterback. He was never able to get his eyes downfield and find an open man. A really good job by Yankton's defense. Now you got to wonder, no man's land, like you were saying, Zach, is it 4 down territory, or is it you're going to punt?
I think 4th and 6, you probably got a punt. We'll see what Coach Larson and the Kernels do here. But, I mean, Jacob Bivens, it's no shock that he was able to do that, Patrick. Muth had nothing but praises to sing for him, as Mitchell does look to be going for it here, as Brady Hazing to his left is Logan Bessler. Takes the snap, drops back across the middle, in and out of the hands, falls incomplete. Yankton gets the stop, but really a missed opportunity for the Kernels offense, in and out of the hands.
I think the receiver felt the pressure bearing down on him, wasn't able to hold that football onto the football through contact, and really good job by the coverage team from the Yankton Bucks defense.
And Luke LeBrun was the intended target in that he had 1 carry for 17 yards on that drive, but again, you said felt that pressure, and he doesn't want to get hit. So Yankton starts with the football now on their own 37-yard line. 2 great starting field position opportunities for this good offense, who averages the most points per game in AA. Jason Lachek gets it, waits for a hole to open up, dives forward up to the 43-yard line. I love that. He just dove forward. He's like, you know what? I don't think anything's going to open up. I'm going to try and get as many yards as I possibly can here. Picks up 6 on the carry, 2nd and 4.
It was a really patient run by Solacek. Waited for that hole to open up, and once it closed down, he took what he could get.
Quick snap here as Bestie fires to the far side, gets his first completion. It's caught. Abel Bryan slips the first defender out around Mitchell's 45-yard line.
And there we see an easy completion for your young quarterback. Get him in rhythm to start the game. Make him not so he doesn't feel so pressured.
A 12-yard pickup Tate Bestie to Abe O'Brien, and that's what we were hoping to see. And on top of that, we had talked about Sedlacek hoping to see some patient running, and we did see that on the first one. Edley Amaro, the H-back up the middle, rumbles and tumbles up to the 39-yard line of Mitchell, gets about halfway to the first down line. Anytime Amaro's got the football in his hands, you know it's going to be a fun play.
He runs about as physical as anybody that has ever run the ball. He's just going to put his shoulder down and plow through a couple guys on the way.
Gets 5. It's half the distance to the first down, and another handoff here. Sedlacek somehow avoids going down at the line of scrimmage, picks up 4 to make it a 3rd and short situation.
And this is what we thought we'd maybe see start the game. Maybe it's try to establish the run, keep your offense on the field, because the last couple of weeks you've had a rough time with quick drives.
And again, a handoff goes right up the middle, lowering the shoulder. There is Sedlacek. Didn't need much. He'll pick up 3, and that is his 4th rushing attempt. And now for Yankton, a fresh set of downs as they move the ball into Mitchell territory, and they're going to move quick as they always do on offense. 2 receivers off to the right, 1 to the left. As H-back is Edley Amaro, Sedlacek in the backfield. A quick pass batted down by Tate Bestie. He wanted Eidsness on the far side of the field. It just got knocked down, though.
That was the linebacker, number 7, Colton Smith for the Kernels, able to just get his hands up and knock that ball down immediately. And really good play by the defense. Just good individual effort by a defender.
And if I told you Colton Smith was a great basketball player and this is his first year of playing football, would you believe me, Patrick?
Well, you can tell he's good at rebounding, I can tell you that.
Good on the defensive line. His coach talked very highly. They were glad to have him as Sedlacek back up the middle he goes. Gets through the line of scrimmage, busts forward to the 25-yard line. He's brought down. He'll pick up 8, 3rd and short yet again.
That's another really good patient run by Sedlacek, and it's something that you're really excited to see this week because it's something that they've lacked a lot of this year.
And Sedlacek, definitely a player who likes putting that shoulder down. He likes contact. If you can have a running back who likes contact, usually it can be a pretty good thing, but usually it means they're not quite as patient. But Sedlacek has really done a nice job. An option here is Tate Bestie, keeps it himself. He'll bring it across the 20 and a first down for Yankton again, as this one a pickup of about 6 yards. Tate Bestie, his first carry of the night. He's already got 5 more yards than all of last week.
That was a really good run by Best. He was able to stutter step and hesitate just enough to make that defensive end commit, then be patient, and he's able to cut inside, pick up the necessary yards to get a new set of downs.
Duo of receivers to each side of the line. Out of the shotgun works Best. He takes the snap, has all day to throw it, fires it over to Eidsness. Eidsness didn't get his head around in time. You could see the double coverage. They've got a man in front and behind Eidsness.
And looking at Bestie, I wonder if there's maybe a miscommunication there on the route. He was kind of looking at Eidsness, maybe confused, like, that's not where you're supposed to be, bud.
And so a little bit of the unusual 1 for 5 Tate Bestie to start this one. It did go for 12 yards, but Yankton moving the ball well. 2nd and 10, no score, but Yankton driving as this throw caught. Carter Boomsma at the 15. And a pickup of 4. That was a hard-earned 4 yards.
Like you said, a hard-earned 4 yards there. Get Bestie out on the move, get him 2 easy targets. But this Mitchell defense is showing that they're committed to not let him just run free and let those receivers get free downfield.
And so Coach Larson, funny enough, when I talked to him, he said, we got to stop the run game. And right now, that's not what they've been stopping. They've been stopping the passes, rolling out of the pocket. Tate Bestie has some grass, gets the first down, tries to get around the defender. He's upside into the 6-yard line, and he'll pick up 9 yards. But that's not a shot you like your quarterback to take there, Patrick.
He took a big hit at the end of that play, Zach, and but that was a really good decision by Bestie. Quick decision, pull that ball down, didn't see anybody open downfield, and take what the defense will give you.
1st and goal here for the Bucks as they try to score from the 6-yard line. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. It's a handoff. Jay Sedlacek reverses right back up the middle, dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Yankton.
What a move by Sedlacek. Made 2 men miss, just scoots his way into the end zone. And you talk about getting skinny, Zach. He was able to really get skinny on that play.
I mean, the play called for him to go outside the numbers. He saw 1 defender he had to beat, brought that back inside, and there it was just straightforward. And as we said, if there's one thing he likes, it's contact. They were waiting for him at the end zone line, and he said, that's no problem for me. He pushes it in for 6. Yankton leads with 3:55 to play in the first quarter. It's 6-0. Kevin Ortiz on for the extra point attempt. Snap and hold is good, and the kick is good. 7-0, your first score on the Fox Stop of Yankton scoreboard. At the corner of West City Limits Road and 30th Street, Yankton, a full-service convenience store with hot food, Godfather's Pizza, personal pizzas, sandwiches, munchies, and beverages. pay at the pump, gas and diesel fuel, firewood, and propane exchange. 7-0 the Bucks lead, 3:55 to play in the first. You're watching and listening live to Bucks football on Classic Hits 106.3 in Yankton, streaming on YouTube.
If you're into hunting, fishing, towing, or just want to blaze the trail, All Seasons has ATVs, UTVs, dirt bikes, and scooters from quality brands like Honda, Yamaha, and CF Moto. Needing watercraft? All Seasons has a large selection of quality boats and wave runners, and we take pride in service after the sale. We have friendly certified technicians that will winterize, summarize, diagnose, and repair your power sports equipment. In business for over 20 years for good reasons. We're All Seasons, Power Sports and Marine in Yankton.
The Bucks strike first here at Joe Quintal Field. 7-0 they lead with only a few minutes to play in the first quarter. And you hate to even say anything, Patrick, but it's been a clean game. No penalties so far on either side.
And that's something that you really like. You like to hear, especially when this is a team that this year has had a big problem with giving up free yards due to penalties.
Yankton averages roughly 10 penalties per game, so to see them at 0 8 minutes into the game is a good sign. Villanueva for his kickoff of the game. Puts it in the air. This one is going to be caught around the 7-yard line for Mitchell. Up across to the 15, now to the 20. Trying to follow a lead blocker, but nothing going on there. And I tell you what, Yankton's special teams have been just as important in their success this year as either offense or defense has been.
That's right. They're not giving up free yards due to special teams mistakes, and that's a phase that I think a lot of people often forget about. You know, there is 3 phases to football: offense, defense, special teams is just as important as the other 2.
And Coach Muth has definitely highlighted that, saying exactly what you just said. Special teams is just as important as both offense and defense, and you can give yourself a serious advantage if you're able to do well on that side of the ball. So a strong formation set up here for the Kernels. Again, 2 backs behind Hazing. Hazing takes the snap, pitches it back, ball's on the ground. Just diving on it is Caden Allen. Mitchell will keep the football, but that is going to be a loss of a few, and Yankton's defense put into a great situation early on.
And that one just goes all on the quarterback, Brady Hazing there. He wasn't patient enough to slow down, exactly make eye contact with his running back on the pitch, and just kind of threw it in front of the running back with no anticipation.
So Caden Allen will take the 5-yard loss on his stats, but as you said, not really his fault. I mean, he's the one who got on the ball. He is the reason that Yankton possibly didn't get a second straight week of a fumble recovered for a touchdown. So Hazing now forced to work out of the shotgun, trips receivers to the left. He'll roll out of the pocket as he faces pressure. Ball put into the turf. 3rd down.
Hazing was just getting rid of the football, felt the pressure. Edley Amaro was right on his tail, threw it in the turf, but there was a receiver in the area, so it's not going to count as intentional grounding.
Had 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, was forced out onto the far side of that field with his 1 receiver that direction. As you mentioned, he was the lone receiver that was in the area where, yes, it's not intentional grounding, but a big play here for Yankton's defense. They have an opportunity to get their offense the ball right back and a possible 3-and-out. Just under 3 to play at 7-0. Yankton leads the Mitchell Kernels. Directly under center works Hazing. Hazing takes the snap, and a little trickery as busting through the line up to the 20-yard line there is Logan Bessler, but it'll only pick up about 3 yards. But that one, Patrick, a run play, it took a little bit to develop, and you just didn't know who had the football for quite some time.
I think that was miscommunication between the running back and the quarterback, Zach. The running back and quarterback went opposite ways, and they just managed to turn around and hand the ball off directly to each other. Good play by Hazing, the quarterback. He's able to pick up a block so his running back didn't get hit immediately.
So for the punt here, this one put high up, but it's not going to go very far. It's going to land before the first down marker. Yankton's offense is going to have less than a 30-yard field. Idris no opportunity to return that. He's not going to care, though.
Zach, that was a net gain of about 6 yards on the punt, and it went probably 40 yards in the air. So that punt was a heck of a lot taller than it was long.
And that's, it feels like almost a 4th down attempt that just didn't work out. So Yankton takes over on Mitchell's 28-yard line, 2:15 to play in the first. They already lead it, 7-0. Amaro will switch sides of the line. Sedlacek up the middle, has some room. He's tripped up. A nice pickup of 7 on the carry.
And this is what you really like to see, is Yankton establishing themselves as the more physical team to start the game and not giving Mitchell a chance to catch back up in that contest.
7 carries, 36 yards, and a touchdown for Sedlacek, just over 5 yards per carry. So what you like to see. 2nd and 4, they credit him with 6. Play action here for Best. He rolls out, fires it to the sideline. It's caught. Talon Kenny picks up the first down.
That's a really good catch by the receiver. He was able to tiptoe on the sideline to keep possession of the ball all the way through, getting out of bounds, and another first down for Yankton.
An 11-yard pickup into Talon Kenny's hands. He had 1 catch last week. It went for 11 yards. This time it goes for 11. As right up the middle, Sedlacek goes. He'll be stuffed at the line of scrimmage, and looked like somebody just got around his ankles. He fell forward.
That was really good pressure from that defensive line from the Kernels. They were able to break through protection really quickly and just, like you said, wrap him up by the ankles, bring him down.
2nd and 10 here, but Yankton on about the 13-yard line of Mitchell. They'll go right back to Sedlacek, who has an opening, puts the shoulder down, gets within the 10-yard line, and Yankton is now on Mitchell's 8-yard line. A pickup of 5 yards, 3rd and medium coming up here.
It's going to be a big 3rd down here, Zach. You'd question, you're in field goal range. Do you run it here, or is Coach Muth going to decide to go ahead and try to get all the points here?
And we've seen multiple attempts here. Sedlacek on the pitch, breaks through, stands up. The defender, flag does fly, but he got up to the 3-yard line. Looks like he has enough for a first down. We'll see what that penalty is, but he stood up that defender.
That was a physical run by Sedlacek. He just lowered his shoulder and delivered the boom to that defender, and really curious as to what the flag could be on this one. I didn't see anything.
It's in the backfield, so you got to wonder either a late hold, block in the back. You can't imagine. It got out before the contact. And a face mask. It'll go against the defense. It'll be half the distance to the goal, Patrick. And talk about great position here for Yankton to try and push this one in. It's 1st and goal now from Mitchell's 2-yard line they're at.
And if you're the Kernels, that one really, really hurts. You had him in a 4th down situation, and you just can't get off the field with mistakes like that.
What do you think they're doing here? Strong setup, direct snap here. Tegan LaCroix tries to follow his blocks, dives it in, touchdown! Yankton scores again here. 13-0, a 2-yard touchdown run for Tegan LaCroix. He is a shifty runner, but that time just waited for it to open up, dove forward, and gives the Bucks a 2-possession lead.
Spread goal line formation, 2 wings in front of the quarterback. There's nobody the quarterback can turn and hand the ball to. There's really only one runner. Going to be one runner out of that formation, Zach.
It was a play where you knew exactly what was going to happen, but still hard to stop. Kevin Ortiz's 2nd extra point attempt of the game. Again, it's good. And your score, 14-0. Yankton leads it here on Classic Hits 106.3 and Yankton streaming on YouTube.
From simple sniffles to complex health conditions, the primary care providers at Yankton Medical Clinic will not only see you for your annual visits, screenings, and preventative care, but also provides care for the entire family, from pediatrics to adults. With 4 clinic locations and 15 outreach locations throughout South Dakota and Nebraska, compassionate, quality medical care is closer than you think. For more information on providers, services, and locations, visit our website, yanktonmedicalclinic.com.
In the first quarter of play, it's 14-0. Yankton leads with 29 seconds in the first frame of play. Another kickoff here for Mitchell, and their offense needs to try and get something rolling here. Coach Larson had talked about they've been able to sustain long drives on the year, but have not really been able to punch it in the red zone. Against this Bucks defense, though, they really have not been able to move. And as we mentioned, to beat Yankton, you've got to slow down their offense, keep them off the field, and right now that has not been the case.
Yankton's done a really good job about being able to capitalize on defense and get opportunities off Mitchell's mistakes, and that doesn't mean big turnovers or anything, just being able to capitalize on little things that Mitchell's offense is doing.
3 returners here for the Kernels. Liam Villanueva puts it to the far side of the field. A strong kick there, fielded at the 3-yard line is where it's scooped up. They'll get up to the 15 and be stopped before the 20-yard line. Yankton special teams again looks good.
That's going to be a big part of the game tonight. If you don't allow Mitchell to get out of their own side of the field, it's going to be a really long night for that offense that really doesn't have any answers when they get down. They're an offense that likes to keep the ball on the ground.
Caden Allen was the return man, and again, just really, his blocks never developed. He tried taking it to the far side there, but Yankton special teams just ready for that one. 1st and 10 here for this Kernels team. They'll start from their own 19-yard line. Again, pinned deep in their own territory. A long field to go against a very tough Yankton defense that has been great the last 2 weeks. A man gets put into motion here, and some trickery as Caden Allen gets it. Gets by the line of scrimmage, falls forward to about the 21-yard line, a pickup of 2. And that's what Mitchell's trying to deceive who's getting the football. We've seen it work. On this time, it really didn't, though.
They try to run the wing around that they opened the game with and run a reverse right off of it. And this time, Yankton's defensive line isn't fooled by it, and they're able to swarm back to the football before he breaks free.
And after our first 12 minutes of play, it is 14-0. Yankton leads as we wrap up the first quarter. Plenty of action to come here. You're watching and listening live to Yankton Bucks football. I'm Zach Spear alongside Patrick Olson and Eve Hawley on Classic Hits 106.3 and Yankton, streaming on YouTube.
As we continually strive to improve the quality of service we provide the Yankton community, the Garden of Memories Cemetery and Winston Ray Funeral Home are pleased to announce the completion of a brand new columbarium. This columbarium is constructed of granite, designed to withstand the test of time. It is for those families choosing cremation and features above-ground outdoor niches, which includes a bronze plaque to memorialize your loved one, as well as indoor glass front niches where families can create a unique memorial with pictures or other family heirlooms. For more information, please give us a call at the Winston Ray Funeral Home in Yankton.
If you want somebody to come into your home and fix everything right the first time, look professional, act professional, treat you with respect, you gotta call Kaylin's. When they come in, I feel that they want to be there. I feel that they want to help me.
You know, they put on the little booties over their shoes. They had canvas from the garage door all the way down to walk on. They left the furnace room in the basement probably cleaner than it was when they came in.
They just do customer service very well. I would recommend Kaylin's to anyone.
2nd and 8 here as we return second quarter. We've got 12 minutes to play in the first half. Yankton leads it 14-0. Kernels with the football on their own 21-yard line here. Yankton's defense has been good so far to start the night. They look to continue it and force another punt from the Kernels offense. Hazing will hand it off backwards and behind the line of scrimmage, driven down.
Number 5, Madden McQuaid, the linebacker, just able to get through on the blitz and hammers down the running back before he is able to go anywhere.
LeBrun is going to lose 3 yards on it. 3rd and 11. They've got him at the original line of scrimmage, so 3rd and 10, excuse me. But Madden McQuaid, that's his second tackle for loss already on the night. And, I mean, if you're already going to have that in the first half, he's having quite the game so far. Madden McQuaid, just a stud for both the defense and special teams of Yankton.
Zach, he hits about as hard as anybody on the team.
Might not be the biggest, but exactly. He comes in flying. 3rd and 10 here for Mitchell. They'll fake the handoff. They'll look to throw it up the middle. Picked off into the hands of Cale Hazelhorse. He's got a shot at a return across the 20 to the 10. Follows his blockers. Touchdown.
That was an easy interception for Cale Hazelhorse. The quarterback, number 18, just stared down his receiver the whole way. He knew he wanted to go to the seam route right away. Hazelhorse to the safety spot, was able to just sit there and wait till the quarterback let the ball go, and he was able to get there before the receiver.
And now, Patrick, I love this because after Tegan LaCroix's 3-interception game last week, he tied Hazelhorse most interceptions. They were both at 4. And I got a chance to talk with Tegan LaCroix, and I said, it's going to be a competition already. He's like, oh, I'm aware that we are tied up, he said. And so I said, well, who's getting more? He said, me. Well, now he's got some work to do as Hazelhorse pulls in his 5th. Brings it in for 6. 20-0. Yankton leads a minute into the second quarter. Ortiz, as there's some movement. I think this is going against Yankton. Looked like a false start.
Wow, and that's exactly what they'll say, Zach. They're going to call it on number 30.
Kevin Ortiz, the kicker. Don't hear that too often, but he did. He ran before the ball was snapped, and it was, like we said, kind of an obvious one.
Yep. Like you said, not a penalty you hear very often, the false start being on the kicker. But and you know what? It probably doesn't hurt him too much. You only back up 5 yards in easy field goal range.
So 20-0 to make it 21-0. It's Kevin Ortiz on the field here against the Kernels at Joe Quintal Field. Cale Hazelhorse with a pick 6 off of Brady Hazing, who's now 1 for 5. Whistles will blow, and now will be set up for a 5-yard longer. extra point. This one will be about 25 yards. Should be a gimme for Kevin Ortiz, who's been solid. Outside of that first week, he has been rock solid. Puts it up and just through the uprights. That one nearly hit the far upright. Either way, goes through. 21-0, Yankton leads. 11:05 to play in the first half here. This is Yankton Bucks football.
Welcome to JR's Oasis, your one-stop food and gas shop. Proud to serve Phillips 66 regular, premium, and diesel fuel. After fueling, go inside for slushies and shakes, ice cream cones, and now offering a full line of healthy, chilled items and snacks. JR's hot menu is great for breakfast, lunch, and supper, featuring the famous Hammer Breakfast Sandwich and fresh hand patty burgers. Try the new Cafe Tango frozen coffees for that extra boost of deliciousness. JR's Oasis, East Highway 50, Yankton.
Back to the field. It's 21-0. The Bucks here lead over the Mitchell Kernels. It's kickoff time yet again as the Bucks score their third touchdown already of the night. Up 21-0. The Kernels, it's starting to feel like they've got to get something rolling here. Their offense has struggled to pick up some yards, but Yankton's defense might be the hottest defense in AA right now. Through their 9 last quarters of play, they've given up 14 total points, Patrick.
They're keeping it on pace with what they've done the last couple of weeks, and they're not allowing much opportunity for those ball carriers to get out in space and be able to pick up those easy yards. They're really trying to have to fight and use misdirection to pick up any yards, really, when they get the ball trying to move the ball on the ground.
Game to keep an eye on. Brookings takes on number 1 in the standings, Huron. Yankton possibly be able to take that over if Huron loses. Tied after the first quarter, 0-0 as the kick caught at the 12-yard line. Again, Yankton special teams gives up nothing to this Kernels return team.
What a big hit from that Buck special teams unit. You could hear the pads popping all the way up here where we are, Zach, and that's quite a distance away.
This Yankton special teams, kudos, and really, so far it has been an overall great game from the Buck squad, and Coach Muth so far has to be happy with how his team has played so far. So the Kernels will start with the football on their own 21-yard line. 1st and 10 here. Yankton's defense hasn't given up a first down in the last 2 drives here. Tegan LaCroix, a player I want to note as the defensive back, far out in coverage. That is just man-to-man coverage right there. But the Kernels on an option read. Hazing tries taking it, somehow sneaks past the line of scrimmage, and he'll pick up a couple yards. I thought he was stopped behind the line, somehow squirted through and got 2.
That was really good individual effort from Hazing, the quarterback, and he, like you said, able to just squirt out of contact there and get up, pick up a couple extra yards. But that defensive line for the Bucks is really doing a good job about collapsing the space as soon as that ball gets snapped.
2nd and 8 now here for this Kernels offense. Again, looking for their first down since that first drive of the game. 2nd and 8. Yankton's defense has not made it easy. LaCroix again man-to-man on the far side, left to hang, but it'll be a pitch now up the middle between the numbers. They'll dive it forward to the 29-yard line. A nice pickup here for the Kernels, as on the carry is Caden Allen. He'll make it a 3rd and short situation.
Just a trap play there, pull the backside tackle, get him out lead blocking, and get that running back upfield, get that extra lead blocker to the weak side of the field.
A long 3 on 3rd down here for the Kernels. The Bucks have stopped him on 3rd down their last 3 attempts. We'll see if they can get it for the 4th one here. Still no score for the Kernels. It's 21-0. Bucks on top. 9:40 to play in the first half of action. A strong high formation here for the Kernels. They've ran it a lot this game, and they'll run it right up the middle. Hazing gets up to about the 30. The line still helping push him forward. They've got enough for a first down and a couple extra. They'll give Hazing 5 on a quarterback keep up the middle.
It was a really good effort from the entire Kernel offensive line. They're able to, when the coaches say move the line of scrimmage, that's how you move the line of scrimmage. They were able to get a good uniform push, and that quarterback really didn't get touched until he was 3 yards down the field.
So 1st and 10 for the Kernels from the 33-yard line. It's their first down again since their first drive. But Hazing, as you mentioned, wasn't even touched until he had the first down. That's just some big boys up front who are strong. A pitch here, back to Allen. Allen gets up to about the 35-yard line. A pickup of 2. 2nd and 8 feels like almost a given every single time the Kernels run it on 1st and 10.
that tried to run that toss sweep to the outside, and Allen sees that outside lane's not going to be there, makes the smart move, cuts up inside, and takes what the defense will give him and picks up 3 yards.
So 2nd and 7 here. Caden Allen with his 6th rushing attempt already of the night. Looks like he'll be the primary back. They had 3 running backs listed as the starters, so you always kind of wonder who's going to be that bell cow back, and it has been Caden Allen. Into motion here, and now some trickery. LeBrun gets it, takes it on the reverse. He'll be stopped at the line of scrimmage, maybe even lost a yard.
Double wing, try to run the reverse play out of the old double wing formation. And LeBrun runs into his own man trying to get to the outside, and it slows him down, gives the defense just enough time to hit him in the backfield.
That is 4 tackles for loss on rushing attempts here for Yankton's defense. And we've got 8 minutes to play in the first half. They really haven't given up much. It's 3rd and 9 here as LeBrun lost a couple yards on that. And now Mitchell will be forced into more likely than not a pass situation. Right now, Brady Hazing 1 for 5 with an interception and 4 yards. 3rd and 9. It'll be an option. He'll flip it out last second. And being corralled before the 35-yard line, still on his feet. Logan Bessler, not a true tackle, but still stopped at the line of scrimmage.
And this is something you could see developing after the last 2 plays. Those safeties for Yankton are starting to choke up and play closer and closer to that line of scrimmage. They're really not worried about a downfield threat from the Kernels right now, and they're just able to pin their ears back and attack the rush.
And Coach Larson mentioned that their offense is much more of a focus on the run game. So far it has been tonight. Plenty of rushing attempts here. 15 so far already for Mitchell as that one booted high up for the punt. Eidsness calls for the fair catch at the 34. Just falls back to make sure he won't give it up. And Yankton with pretty solid starting field position, but for this game, this is this is some of the worst starting field position from their own 34 so far.
Yankton really hasn't had to operate from their own side of the field. They've been, for a majority of their drives, operating in opponent territory and haven't had to worry about getting past the 50 or getting behind the 50. So, we'll see how they can handle a longer drive.
1st and 10 from the 34 of their own for the Bucks here. 21-0. They lead it with 7:03 to play in that second quarter. Out of the shotgun, here's Bestie. A duo of receivers on each side, but Sidlacek with some room to run up the middle. A stiff arm and falls forward to the 41-yard line. A pickup of 6 or 7, and Jason Sidlacek, that looked like a great stiff arm. You don't see those too much.
If anyone has heard the complaints about maybe the offense being a little stagnant over the last couple of weeks, I think it's Sidlacek has because he's running hard tonight.
6:40 to play in the second quarter. Amaro moves from the left side to the right side of the line, and an illegal shift or a false start. We'll see what they call for Yankton, but it's definitely moving back 5 yards. A snap infraction. That'll be on Ben Bowman, a 5-yard penalty. Only the second of the night for Yankton for 10 yards, and that will make it 2nd and about 8 yards here. So you still feel like reasonable position after a penalty.
The center was the only one set on that last one. That is when he snapped the ball, everyone else wasn't ready.
Bestie works it from the shotgun, loads up, puts it into the air for Owen Eidsness. Can't bring in the one-handed attempt, and it'll be 3rd down for Yankton. Now, had he made that catch, highlight reel for sure. That's one he'd want to keep in his personal storage of his plays, but that one, good defense by the Kernels, and, that's just Bestie trusting his guy. He says, you know what? I trust my guy to go make a play. Just couldn't get it that time.
Eidsness wishes he was probably another head taller, and he could have caught that one.
Trio of receivers off to the far side of the field. It'll come to the near side. Noah fake. Tate Bestie now rolls out. Directs traffic. Fires it to Boomsma. Puts too much on it. Falls incomplete. 4th down for Yankton. And the Kernels get a stop here. Their second defensive stop of the night. 6:18 to play in the second quarter. Plenty of time for this Kernels offense to try and get something. And now for Mitchell, they get the second half kickoff. If they can put together a drive and score, they kind of feel like they can pick up maybe some momentum here in this game, whereas it's been all Yankton up to this point.
That's right, and everything starts right here on the return. If they can get a good return and get solid field position, it opens up the playbook way more, and it makes it easier as a play caller to get yourself down the field.
A line drive there from Villanueva takes a bounce within the Kernels' 30. Will now roll up to about the 21-yard line. And again, Mitchell just going to be pinned back in their own territory. 1st and 10 for them on their own 21-yard line. After their defense gets a stop, we'll see how the offense comes out and returns. And Their offense looked like they were going to come out of the gates just firing as they had a 26-yard run and a 17-yard run all on that first drive, and since then it's really been pretty quiet for the squad.
That's right, Zach. And, it all started with that misdirection. They were able to get Yankton's defense looking one way, able to run the other way. And ever since then, Yankton's been able to be way more disciplined, especially up front, and not let things outside, especially in the run game.
Now, a common situation we've seen for the Kernels, one receiver far out just to draw one of the defenders out there. But again, a strong setup here as it'll go to the fullback, diving forward up across to the 26 is Logan Bessler. And well, Yankton maybe thought it was a fumble. That one, he was definitely down before he dropped it. He'll pick up half the distance to the first down. And Bessler, his best carry of the night, 2nd and 5.
And this is something that if you're the Kernels that you want to keep being able to do, if you can establish yourself and get anywhere from 4 to 5 yards at carry, you're in way better position for the rest of the game. But, we'll see how Yankton's response is. I said earlier, watch those safeties. They're starting to creep up closer and closer to the line of scrimmage.
And the analytics show if you can get 4 or more yards on first down, your chances of getting a first down grow exponentially. Gavin Johnson showed a sign of blitz there. It's a halfback toss to Caden Allen. Allen thrown down behind the line of scrimmage.
Defense shows cover 1. Number 15, Miles Drotzman, the linebacker, comes down on the outside. Confusion from the guard and tackle on the play side, and they left Drotzman by himself and allowed a couple other defenders to get through.
That is now the 5th tackle for loss for this Yankton defense. They don't have a sack, but really the reason Brady Hazing only 5 passing attempts. They've been very run heavy, but again, a 3rd and long situation, 8 to go here. They're on their own 23-yard line. You wonder if Mitchell's got to try passing it as the run just hasn't been able to click since that first drive. Play action here. Hazing lofts this one high up in the air. Some hand fighting. It's brought in by the Kernels up to midfield. What a catch there by number 7, Colton Smith, the basketball player.
What an effort. He just out-rebounds Miles Drotzman, the defender, goes up, gets the ball, is able to come down with it in bounds, and that's the biggest play we've seen tonight from this Kernels offense.
Colton Smith, a couple of big plays. There's a reason Coach pointed him out as a player to keep an eye on. Comes up big for the Kernels, and it was a pass situation. They got the first down. I mean, with the run not going, you're going to have to take some of those shots. And Smith, really, it was a one-on-one, a 50-50 ball, and he came down with that one. 1st and 10 here at midfield are the Kernels. Up the middle they go again and again, stuffed on a 2-yard pickup on first down. I just mentioned how a 2nd and 8 feels guaranteed. We've got another one.
And that was the Bucs defense is just playing man coverage on the outside, allowing those backers to go in, and they're sending heavy pressure. They're really not wanting this Kernels offense to be able to establish the run between the tackles.
2nd and 8 here for the Kernels. They've got the ball on Yankton's 48-yard line. They are taking their time here as they don't even want to give an opportunity for Yankton to possibly score. Because if there's one offense in AA right now that can move the ball quickly, it's Yankton. They move quickly even when they want to run the clock. 2nd and 8. Another strong formation here for Mitchell. A receiver on each side of the line. A play action now facing pressure as Hazing steps back into the pocket. Tries to run this one himself. He somehow evades pressure up to the 46-yard line. And now he's brought down. Tegan LaCroix on the stop. Hazing ran about 30 yards to pick up 1.
What an effort from the quarterback, Hazing. He, like you said, he spun around and made about 4 guys miss and ran up 30 yards to pick up an entire yard total. And that Yankton defense really, I think all 11 guys were in the backfield at one point trying to get him.
Talk about just not giving him any opportunity. Tried setting the edge here on the near side of the field. Tegan LaCroix said, not so fast. I'm pretty good at running myself. Stops him. But again, he steps in the pocket, avoids pressure by backing up. Back into the pocket, takes it the other direction, then brings it near side of the field. That's the longest 1-yard play you're going to see, probably. Out of the shotgun here is Hazing. Bad snap, ball's on the ground. Hazing just falls on it at his own 40-yard line. That'll be a big loss, and Yankton with a stop. A loss of 13 on the play, and unfortunately for Hazing, that's going to go against him.
After the big personal effort from Brady Hazing, it had some echoes of maybe the old Johnny football at Texas A&M, the way he made a bunch of guys miss, and unfortunately to have that play follow up, that really hurts.
I didn't think Johnny Manziel would be getting a mention here tonight, but you never know what's going to happen. A punt situation as the Kernels put it high up in the air, and Eidsness calls for a fair catch at his own 28. Now, Yankton didn't call a timeout there, but they still have all three in a minute 45 to try and get some more points on the board before we enter our Vichay-Yankton halftime show, which, by the way, you're going to want to keep it here. I did get a chance to talk with Tegan LaCroix coming off a 3-interception game. You'll want to hear that highlighted player of the week chat with LaCroix, his thoughts of this matchup and just of the season overall, how it's went for Yankton. Again, that'll be during our Vichay-Yankton halftime show. Yankton on their own 28-yard line, 1st and 10. It's the worst starting field position of the night for the Bucks. Bestie will take the snap, turns around, hands it off to Sedlacek, who tries to take it outside the numbers. Now he'll fall forward to about the 33-yard line. A nice pickup of 5, second 5. Nothing opened up in the middle there, Patrick, so he bounced it outside, and a pretty nice pickup of 5.
That's Jay Sedlacek has done a really good job getting through that first level of defenders tonight, but that second level for the Kernels have done a good job of shutting him down. 2
receivers on each side. Bestie fires it deep. Abel Bryan can't pull it in, but that's a pass interference. You wondered when the flag was coming out. There was a lot of fighting between the two, and looks like the defender just got his hands on him. That's Kyson Herman, one-on-one against Abel Bryan, who's just a tall, lengthy player for Yankton. That's a tough situation to be put in.
Well, like you said, there's a lot of contact from both the receiver and the defender. The reason they're going to throw the flag and get him on that, Zach, is the defender never turned his head around. He never looked for the football, so therefore the contact is no question. It is going to be a pass interference.
Had he made a play on the ball, we might have no flag here, but absolutely correct. And I think, probably a no-brainer, but I mean, the refs right now are talking this over. So, I mean, discussing was it enough contact to give up a flag. And these officials haven't called much tonight. They've let them play. Kudos to the crew here doing a great job on the field tonight. Minute 14 to play here in the first half. It will be pass interference on Mitchell. Of course, the Kernels sideline doesn't like the call. You're never going to like a call when it's an automatic first down.
Well, like you said earlier, pass interference will be the call against number 5, Kyson Herman. And wow, Zach, the home crowd really doesn't like that one. But like I said before, he never turned and tried to make a play on the ball, so therefore the receiver was considered a defenseless player the whole way down the field.
1st and 10 for the Bucks now on their own 48-yard line, nearing that midfield. Trio of receivers to the right. They'll take it the opposite way. Carter Boomsma just beyond his outstretched hands. Incomplete pass. Tate Bestie only has 3 completions on the night here, Patrick, but the good news is Yankton's up 21-0.
This is something that's been a common theme from Bestie tonight. He isn't able to settle his feet and slow himself down and let the game come to him. He's trying to force that ball into positions.
So now 2nd and 10 here for the Bucks. Only lost 4 seconds off the clock. 70 seconds to play in the first half. Into motion goes Jay Sedlacek. Dropping back Bestie across the middle. A dart. Caught Boomsma. That jab step gets around the first defender. Now he's brought down to the 25-yard line. A 27-yard connection from Bestie to Boomsma.
Really good open field tackle by the junior, number 28, Samari Wright, able to tack down Boomsma in open field because Boomsma looked like he might be able to turn the Jets on and get all the way down to a touchdown.
So 1st and 10, it'll be a timeout here called by the Bucks after a 27-yard completion. A Lindsay Echo Water Systems of Yankton water break. Locally owned for 4 generations, call them for water softening and purification. Salt, reverse osmosis needs, and bottled water. That's Lindsay Echo Water Systems of Yankton.
Midwest Insurance Agency values family. Our agency has been family-run for over 60 years. We pride ourselves on excellent, knowledgeable customer service. This day and age, everyone is so eager to have an immediate response with a quote. But at Midwest Insurance, we take our time and evaluate your assets and make sure you are properly insured. We take those what-ifs very seriously. As we continue on our family business with hopes of our children, Brooke or Jet, taking over in the future, we will continue to be there for you always. Come be a part of our family. Midwest Insurance Agency, 3016 Piper Street, Yankton.
Bucks are driving the football with 61 seconds to play in the first half. They lead 21-0. They've got the ball at the 25-yard line of the Mitchell Kernels after a 27-yard pickup on 2nd down from Tate Bestie to Carter Boomsma. Again, 3 receivers on the right side of the line, 1 to the left. It's Boomsma by himself. Jason Lawchek, the running back, along with Bestie. Bestie will bootleg it on the far side, puts it deep into the end zone. It falls incomplete.
Tried to get that sprint out action, get Bestie out on the move, get him out in space, and try to give him some easy targets. And like he said, he just overshot his man there. He had a couple wide open receivers that he could have picked.
So 2nd and 10 here, 54 seconds now to play. Yankton's offense, I mean, the line's already set up and the receivers are still dashing back to the line of scrimmage. They're ready to roll here, and that's kind of been the story of the season. 2 receivers on each side here. Bestie will drop back, loads up, puts some air under it. That one, a perfect throw, caught. Hazelhorst brings it in for 6. Cale Hazelhorst, a 25-yard throw. Bestie makes up for the last throw. What a dime thrown from Tate Bestie to Hazelhorst.
Line Cale Hazelhorst up in the slot, run a corner route to the corner of the end zone. 2 guys run underneath and are able to pull those linebackers with them, and there's no defenders to the outside left. Easy touchdown for Tate Bestie.
27-0, the Bucks lead it here. 47 seconds to play in the first half. They used about half of the time and only 1 timeout on that drive. Kevin Ortiz's 4th extra point attempt of the night. Again, sneaks it through, and that'll make it 28-0 on your Fox Stop of Yankton scoreboard. Yankton Bucks football presented by First Dakota National Bank of Yankton on Classic Hits 106.3 in Yankton, streaming on YouTube.
I knew I should have had those brakes checked. At Graham Tire, it's all about safety. Tire mounting, balancing, wheel alignment, and shocks and struts and batteries, oil changes, and lube service. Graham Tire does these every day. And there's over an acre of tires. Graham Tire has them all, big and small. Tires for cars, trucks, campers, trailers, big rigs, and tracks. Honesty and integrity is a matter of pride since 1951. Graham Tire, Yankton.
Back to the field for the closing minute of the second quarter of the first half, 28-0 Yankton leads over the Mitchell Kernels. 47 seconds to play here as another kickoff here for the Bucks, who are rolling right now. Again, they average over 30 points per game, but they're nearing that in the first half. Mitchell's defense, though, gives up over 30 points per game. You figured that might be probably the more lopsided part of the matchup.
It'll be interesting to see going forward what maybe adjustments the Kernels are going to make going forward, if they try to maybe spread their offense out a little more, or if maybe they try to slow their offense down even more, try to keep that ball away from Yankton.
Liam Villanueva back out on the field. He's had plenty of action here today. He'll have to kick it off as we start the second half, as well as the Kernels will get the ball out of the second half. And Villanueva checks both sides, marches right up, and he'll boot this one away. On the ground, they squib it. Takes an odd bounce in and out of the Kernels' hands. They have to dive on it on their own 20-yard line. Patrick, right now for the Kernels, just feels like they can't get out of their own way.
So far, it's been everything that can go wrong has gone wrong. And really the big question here is, as a coaching staff, how do you slow it down and get your kids to maybe just slow their game down and like I said earlier, let the game come to you. Quit trying to force the game into spots that maybe the ball doesn't want to fit right now.
So 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line here for the Kernels. And the Bucks, a squib kick, didn't want to give Mitchell a chance for their return men to get a long one. So right now, 43 seconds on the clock. A handoff to the fullback, drives it forward, gets up maybe to the 25-yard line. Logan Bessler on the carry, a 4-yard pickup, 2nd and 6.
And this Kernel offense not moving with much speed here. It seems like they're perfectly fine with letting this clock tick and going into halftime and trying to make adjustments there.
And as a running team, you think 43 seconds. You're on your own 20-yard line. Unless you can break a long run, you're probably struggling to score here. Yankton's defense not really playing very far back. Doesn't seem too worried about a possible long play here. As again, a handoff up the middle. LeBrun has it, breaks by the first defender up to the 36-yard line. A nice pickup, but that will bring us into the half with a Luke LeBrun 12-yard pickup at the half.
And that's been the one play that's really worked well for this Kernels offense tonight, is that wing around. They're able to get a couple of lead blockers out with that other wing and the running back. And maybe we'll see something later off that.
At the half, it's 28-0, your Bucks lead. Talk about a final regular season game for Yankton to try and head into the playoffs with some momentum. We enter our Vishay Yankton halftime show. We'll have your halftime stats, game trends, the adjustments we think each side will make, and our highlighted player of the week, the interview with Tegan LaCroix. You'll want to keep it here on Classic Hits 106.3 and Yankton, streaming on YouTube.
This is your invitation to thrive in Yankton, South Dakota. Nestled on the bluffs of the Missouri River, plenty of outdoor adventures are waiting. Whether you work remote or in a traditional office, we have a spot for you. Quality health care, diverse manufacturing, progressive school system, Mount Marty University, and so much more. Explore with family and friends. Let's thrive together.
When you need top-notch appliances that last, trust the experts at Murph's Appliance. From washers and dryers to refrigerators, they have all the trusted brands to keep your home running smoothly. At Murph's, you'll find Maytag appliances built for durability and service you can count on. Whether it's a new oven or a repair, they're there for you every step of the way. Stop on down to Murph's Appliance, your local Maytag dealer in Vermilion. Maytag and Murph's, reliable just like you.
Imagine working for a successful global business with customers in 140 countries. That's Vishay Intertechnology, a Fortune 1000 maker of electronic componentry. Now imagine a company of that size with that kind of stability and a caring family-like environment. Learn more about what you can do at Vishay by visiting VishayCareers.com. Vishay is an equal opportunity employer. Vishay, the DNA of tech.
There's a whole new world out there. It's called the off-road, and it's waiting to be explored in a Polaris. So gear up to make every moment count with the Polaris off-road vehicle. The new Polaris models are now available at Stockman's Motorsports in Yankton. No matter the weather, get ready to tackle all the trails. With machines like these, your world just gets bigger. Stop in at Stockman's Motorsports today to learn more about the epic new Polaris off-road lineup.
My name is Len Peterson, and at Elkhorn Valley Bank and Trust, there really is a difference. I think a big difference that Elkhorn Valley Bank offers customers is a quick turnaround in loan decision. We try to make a quick and accurate decision for our customers so they can get quick answers and run their businesses as smoothly as they can. A community banker builds a relationship, plain and simple. Elkhorn Valley Bank, great for you, great for your community.
At Elwood Family Dental Care, we treat our patients like family. We have an experienced and caring dental team. We take the time to make sure you understand your oral health and answer any questions you have about your dental treatments. We take pride in educating our patients. Whether you need fillings, crowns or bridges, dental implants, just the teeth cleaning, or even Botox, come visit us at 1818 Broadway Avenue. And remember, we take care of the entire family.
Doctors Lane, Reed, and Cole Swatsky make up the SWAT Chiropractic team. Check out their new location at 2000 Summit Street, Yankton, South Dakota. At SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab, they'll treat your neck and back pain, headaches and migraines, plantar fasciitis, sciatica, sports injuries, elbow, knee, rotator cuff, nerve injuries, and more. SWAT Chiropractic, specialized wellness and therapy. Let them get you ready for wherever life leads you.
Slumberland Furniture at 2401 Broadway in Yankton, home of Kirkland Furniture Groups, bedroom groups by Laguna, and dining sets by Tower and Catadel. They're also the only place to offer furniture by Flex Steel and the biggest selection of Lazy Boy in the area. The Mattress Gallery is full of the best brand name mattresses in the business, including the all-new Tempur-Pedic Active Breeze personalized climate-controlled mattress. Slumberland Furniture, dining, bedroom sets, and mattresses in Yankton.
Welcome to the Vishay Yankton Halftime Show. Vishay Yankton, building the DNA of tech. All the stats, game trends, and everything Yankton Bucks football now.
Hello and welcome to our Vishay Yankton Halftime Show on Classic Hits 106.3 and Yankton streaming on YouTube. Vishay, define the world's future. Vishay Electronic Components bring to life the world's most important products. Products that touch lives everywhere, every day. Vishay, building the DNA of tech. Now time for your halftime stats here. We'll start with the Mitchell Kernels. Running the football, Luke LeBrun has 4 attempts, 25 yards. Caden Allen with 7 attempts, 25 yards. Logan Bessler, 6 attempts that have went for 18 yards. And Brady Hazing, 5 attempts for a loss of 5 yards. But again, he's tagged with that 13-yard loss off of a bad snap. So tough to pin that one too much on him. Brady Hazing throwing the football 2 for 6, 31 yards and 1 interception, and catching the football for the Kernels. Logan Bessler, 1 reception, 4 yards, and Colton Smith, 1 reception. That was a big one at midfield for 27 yards. Just went up and got it. 2 penalties on the Kernel at the half for 17 penalty yards. For the Yankton Bucks now rushing the football, Jason Lachek has had a lot of attempts. 12 carries in this one, 57 yards, and 1 touchdown, averaging about 4.9 yards per carry. Tate Bestie with 2 attempts. He's gone for 15 yards and really hasn't needed to run the ball, but when he does, it's when he needs to, and he's done a nice job with it. Edley Amaro had his 1 rushing attempt and went 5 yards, and Tegan LaCroix we saw with a 2-yard touchdown run and really just dove into the end zone head first. Catching the football, Cale Hazelhorst, 1 catch, 25 yards and a touchdown. Abel Bryan, 1 reception for 12 yards. Carter Boomsma, 2 catches for 31 yards. And Talon Kenny, 1 reception for 11 yards. 2 penalties on Yankton for a total of 10 yards, and they've done a nice job staying penalty-free in this one. First thing that I noticed, Patrick, Owen Eidsness, 0 receptions in the game. A receiver who averages about 90 yards per game and has 10 touchdowns on the season. Bestie's looked his way, but, I mean, defenses make a point to not let Eidsness disrupt the game.
Yeah, exactly right. The Kernels' defense is doing a really good job about being able to isolate him and keep a guy on him at all times. Another thing they're doing a really good job about is not allowing Tate Bestie to settle his feet, settle down, and get a rhythm in this game. And I think that's been a really big issue. And going forward, I think that's the biggest thing that this offense is going to look to change. Maybe get your quarterback settled down a little bit more and just get him into a rhythm, get him to complete some easy throws. He's hit some really nice throws today, Zach, but he just can't hit those easy balls that we're used to seeing him complete.
And that's exactly right. He's hitting the home run balls, but not maybe the 5-yard pickups that make a 3rd and 2 rather than a 3rd and 7. 3rd and long situations are so much difficult. So just as you mentioned, try and get Bestie firing it well and try to get some of those dink and dunk passes, as they call them, just to get things rolling. Otherwise, their defense, hard to really say anything that you'd like to see improved. The defense has outscored Mitchell 7-0, and I want to point out through the last 10 quarters of play, take out Yankton's offense entirely, Yankton's defense has tied the teams 14-14 in 10 quarters of play.
Excellent effort so far tonight from the defense. Other than those first couple plays to start the game where they got their eyes maybe really got out of position, and they were able to clean that up, and they've been really disciplined about keeping this Kernels rushing attack in between the hash marks and not allowing them to break free to the outside and pick up the easy yards after contact.
And on top of those offensive stats, Cale Hazelhorst has a pick 6 in this game. Took it about 30 yards into the end zone. And it really did a nice job following his blockers. You could tell he plays offense as well. Patrick, now for Mitchell. They face a 28-0 deficit against a very good Yankton Bucks team. There's been some positives, there's been some negatives. The offense at times has these explosive plays, but then otherwise looks stagnant, getting stuffed at the line of scrimmage. The passing game really hasn't resulted into too much, and their defense struggling to stop this Yankton offense. What do you think are the kind of adjustments you try to make to get your offense moving?
Well, I think first and foremost, you already said it, Zach, is their passing game has been pretty stagnant, and they've kept it game pretty well on the ground, like I said, between the tackles. They're really trying to force this inside run game, and Yankton's done a really good job of shutting that down. And like I mentioned earlier, now that you've got the safeties and those defensive backs for Yankton starting to creep up. If you're Mitchell, you maybe need to look to try to stretch the field and get players downfield on a vertical pass, and at least give them the threat that the long ball could be there.
And so it's 28-0 during our Vichet Yankton halftime show. Your Yankton Bucks on top. Some other area games. T area fell to AAA Sioux Falls, Washington, 27-7. Pierre with a big win over Douglas, 49-0. So more likely than not, I'm not going to promise anything with these seed points. They can be hard to predict. More likely than not, though, Pierre should be in as the number 3 seed in AA. Yankton at the half on top of Mitchell, 28-0 here. Again, the game I told you got to keep an eye on. Brookings right now on top of Huron right before the half, 8-6, a great game, and could impact the standings should Huron fall to Brookings. Aberdeen Central and Watertown scoreless at the half. It's been a defensive masterpiece so far. And Sturgis Brown currently on top of Spearfish at halftime, 13-7. I did get a chance to talk with Tegan LaCroix, the junior of the Yankton Bucks. Let's listen to that interview right now. During our Vichet Yankton halftime show, our highlighted player of the week is junior Tegan LaCroix. Tegan, your team coming off a 31-7 win over T area. Tell me about that game.
Yeah, it was a pretty good game. We needed that win and keep going strong towards the end of the year and just keep winning, hopefully.
And you grabbed 3 interceptions. What about that game was just working well for you?
We just needed to stop the run, and we knew they could throw the ball a little bit. So whenever the ball got in the air, we just had to get down and try to get it best we could. And we did pretty good on that.
And can you walk me through what goes through your head as a D-back when you see that ball coming your way?
Whenever I see the ball, I just think in my head, I just got to try to go get it.
Get it, catch it, right?
Yeah, just got to get it.
I do want to mention you and Hazelhorst both now lead the team with 4 interceptions. Who's going to end with more?
There may be people who will say different things, but I'm going me, 100%.
And now you do play both sides of the ball. Do you have a preference between offense or defense?
I like defense as of right now. I think it's going pretty good.
And to add on to that, I do got to ask, would you rather catch a touchdown or pick off the opposing quarterback?
Ooh. Depends how far. Pick 6, I would rather get a pick 6. That would be nice. Again, and then if we're just going normal interception, I'd probably catch a touchdown.
Well, after a 3 interception game, you could probably get a little tired of them, right?
Yeah, you can't get tired of an interception.
And now you've got Mitchell as an opponent. What are you hoping to see in this one?
We just got to execute. We're doing good in practice and just keep going. Get another win for the last game of the season and go into the playoffs strong.
And as you mentioned, playoffs coming right up. What's the excitement level for both you and the team?
Oh, we're pretty excited to get this going. I think we got a really good shot going a long ways.
Well, Tegan, appreciate the chat. Let's see you win in the last regular season game.
Thank you.
Warmer days are coming, and sooner or later your air conditioning will need to kick in as well. But what if it doesn't? Well, don't wait. Call Larry's Heating and Cooling. With 43 years in the business, we're very knowledgeable on what we do and how we serve our customers. You can rest assured that when you call day or night, someone will always pick up the call. Join our elite club today and become a priority member. Skip the line, get discounts on services, and have no overtime fees. Call Larry's Heating and Cooling for expert service from factory-trained technicians.
Craving something boss-level delicious? Come out to Boss Pizza and Chicken, where flavor meets delicious and delicious meets drooling. Your taste buds won't be the same when you taste the bold flavors of Boss Pizza and Chicken. From crispy chicken to juicy burgers to handcrafted specialty pizzas, Boss has it all. Serving lunch and dinner Monday through Sunday starting at 11 o'clock. That's why they're the boss. Boss Pizza and Chicken, just waiting to crush your cravings.
Pied Piper Flowers and Gifts on the corner of 15th and Broadway in Yankton. Your full-service flower and gift store. Beautiful fresh flower arrangements to artificial arrangements. Gifts, sympathy, foodie items to snarky gifts. Stop by and let the gals at Pied Piper give you the personal service you deserve. Brighten your day and head to Pied Piper Flowers and Gifts, where you'll find something new every time you go. Pied Piper Flowers and Gifts Yankton, they deliver. FloorTech Cleaning and Restoration in Yankton, Mitchell, and Norfolk and surrounding areas is the call you need to make when you need your carpets, ductwork, or a trauma cleanup. With 24-hour emergency services for fire and water, mold mitigation, and reconstruction services for residential and commercial properties. Locally owned and operated at 220 East 3rd Street in Yankton.
When your home or floor is wet, call Floor Tech.
MT and RC Smith Insurance has been a part of the Yankton community since 1949. Our agency would love to help you with your home, auto, business, life, and long-term care insurance needs.
We take pride in providing you with quality service when you have a claim or need to make changes to your coverage.
The MT and RC Smith Insurance Agency is flexible to meet with you in person or at the office at 204 West 4th Street. Give them a call for insurance changes, payments, claims, or service requests.
Les Schwab Tires, located at 2809 Broadway in Yankton. It's the place to buy tires with all different tread types to fit your needs and rims ready to make your vehicle shine. Not only do they sell tires, they fix them too. Flats, brakes, alignments, and more. You can feel confident that your car will be taken care of. No waiting for your tires, they should have them in stock. If you're looking for tractor or semi-tires, those are available too. Les Schwab Tires, where the sign says it all. Back during our Vishay Yankton halftime show, Bucks lead at 28-0 over the Mitchell Kernels. It's time for your halftime Beyond the Game, brought to you by Kalen's Indoor Comfort and Heating and Air Conditioning. When you want comfort, you want Kalen's. So this week for Yankton tonight, they have their high school fall play parent performance. Get a private showing for family members only. That started at 7, goes till 9:30 at the Yankton High School SAC Main Theater. And middle school dance at the Middle School South Gym going on from 7 to 9. It'll be odd, a Friday without football, but they'll have oral interpretation with a varsity event. It's the Circle of Courage Invite at Sioux Falls, Washington. Yankton School District teacher in service tomorrow, so there will be no school for Yankton. That's 8 a.m. to 4 o'clock. Volleyball will be in action. And then into the weekend, the high school fall play continues at the Yankton High School SAC Main Theater, 7 till 8:30. Then into next week on Monday, middle school parent-teacher conferences, 4 to 8 o'clock at all classrooms in the middle school. High school gymnastics parents meeting at the Yankton High School SAC Commons, 6 to 7. And the high school fall play, 7 to 8:30. Tuesday, October 28th, high school educators rising at SDSU, 8:30 a.m. until 2 o'clock. Still more elementary parent-teacher conferences is at Beadle Elementary School, 4 to 8 p.m. On Wednesday, the High School National Honor Society Blood Drive at the Yankton High School SAC Library. That goes on from 9 a.m. until 2:30. Well, for Yankton, should have the quarterfinals at Crane Youngworth. We'll see who their first opponent will be in the playoffs. And then on Friday, high school All-State Chorus and Orchestra at Sioux Falls, Denny Sanford Premier Center. No time listed. And a oral interpretation varsity invitational. It's Teddy's Roundup against Sioux Falls Roosevelt at Sioux Falls Roosevelt. Again, no time listed. That is your halftime Beyond the Game, and it's brought to you by Kalen's Indoor Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning. When you want comfort, you want Kalen's. And for a great night here for football. Talk about comfort, Patrick. You can't ask for better football weather here tonight.
No, going into October, usually we're getting in the playoffs. You're worried about how cold it's going to be on the Friday night, but tonight you couldn't ask for better weather.
As we stand outside here, nice and comfy. Kickoff for the second half here as 12 minutes have been put on for the third quarter. Bucks lead 28-0, but the Kernels will start with the ball out of the second half here. Liam Villanueva, again, he has been on the field frequently for kickoffs here, and he has got a leg. Again, 3 returnmen here for the Kernels as they look to get the second half started with some scoring. That is Yankton's third straight first half, not giving up any score. This one will be returned at about the 9-yard line, but in and out of the hands, and Yankton special teams able to get on the return, man. Still, after the fumble, you feel like getting up to the 22 was a decent return.
They've definitely struggled on special teams tonight as far as the Kernels have. And, that's something we've seen tonight already from the Kernels is maybe a bobbled catch on a return, or that ball's been on the turf quite a bit tonight. Maybe an opportunity later for the Bucks.
And the Bucks do already have a defensive touchdown. Might have to add in a special teams touchdown or the second for the defense. Certainly wouldn't break their hearts. 28-0, the second half officially underway. Mitchell with the football, 1st and 10 on their own 22-yard line. They trail by 28. They've tried running the ball frequently here in this one. They line up as they'll flip it out here as Caden Allen is going to be grabbed and brought down after he got up to the line of scrimmage. Drace Gaskins got a hold of the back of his jersey, let him go nowhere. He only got 1 yard.
Another really good effort from the front seven on that Bucks defense. They line up in an unbalanced I formation, and they're heavy to the far side of the field, and they try to run the counter back to the near side of the field, and the defensive ends on this side just weren't going to let that play develop.
And Gaskins, I mean, it wasn't even necessary that he knew it. He just had so much strength to grab the runner and basically said, you're going nowhere. 2nd and 9 here for the Kernels now as they'll look to throw it. Hazing faces some pressure from Edley Amaro, gets rid of the football. Ball is knocked free onto the turf, incomplete. Amaro was hot in pursuit there.
And that was really good coverage from number 3, Easton Fesser. And really good coverage. That ball hit the receiver in the chest, and he was able to get a hand in there and break it up.
And Feezer's been a great defender here for Yankton. A nice addition to the defense after a few weeks here. 3rd and 9 now for the Kernels. They're on their own 23-yard line as they look to get things rolling. I mean, haven't scored in this game yet. Hazing out of the shotgun, an option, flips it out, ball's on the ground. It'll be scooped up by Yankton. Jacob Bivens recovers the fumble.
That is the risk you run any time that you run the speed option. It's just the timing was off between the quarterback and the quarterback and the receiver, and was just bounced off his fingertips. Easy recovery from the defense.
Jacob Bivens didn't have to do much work there to get the fumble. He'll just fall on it, but of course, you'll take that on the stats. So Yankton's offense takes over on Mitchell's 19-yard line, and a great opportunity for them really to get up big time here. Jason Lachek follows his H-back in Edley Amaro, gets up to the 14-yard line. He'll pick up half of what he needed, a 5-yard carry. 2nd and 5 here for Yankton.
How impressive has Jay Solachik been tonight? He's been running hard, and he's been the main cog in their offense tonight.
And Sidlachek has been just patient and runs it up the middle, has some room up to the 5-yard line. A nice pickup and 1st and goal on the way here for Yankton. 9 yards on that one.
Like you were just saying, Zach, very patient running tonight. He's waiting for those holes to develop and those blocks to get there, and he's not trying to just slam himself through the hole before it opens up.
Yankton 1st and goal on their own Mitchell's 5-yard line. Eidsness goes into motion. Sidlachek wants another touchdown. He'll push it in for his 2nd of the night. A 5-yard touchdown run, Jay Sidlachek.
All the credit there to number 64, the offensive lineman, Drace Gaskins. He moved 2 guys, and he was just the bulldozer on that against that defensive front.
34-0 here. The Bucks on top. 10-14 to play in the 3rd quarter. A quick strike. Mitchell started with the football in the 2nd half, but a fumble recovery put Yankton's offense in great starting field position as they are over their season average on points per game. That'll just go up here to wrap up the regular season. Ortiz, this will be his 5th attempt. Low snap, but a good hold. And Ortiz right up looked like it was up the middle from here. Getting hard to tell in the dark. But that one is no good. We stay at 34-0 on our Fox Stop of Yankton scoreboard. When we return, Bucks up big time.
Hi, it's Linda at Linda's Angel Crossing in Yankton. Ladies, come into the store for all your new fall clothing needs. There's Tribal, there's Lulu Bee, Ethel, and Southern Lady. The nursery has everything you need for gift giving, baptism, copper pearl bibs, magnetic sleepers, swaddlers, toddlers, clothing, and boys and girls Under Armour to size 7. Don't forget toys and little golden books. Linda's Angel Crossing in Yankton.
On his 5th attempt, Kevin Ortiz misses the extra point, keeps it at 34-0. 10-14 to play here in the 3rd quarter. But the Bucks up big time after a 5-yard touchdown run from Jay Sidlachek. And they're kicking off again here, Patrick. The Kernels just have not had an answer on either side of the ball against Yankton.
No, Yankton's been pretty dominant up front all the entire night. And, that's like Coach Brady Muth was saying before the game, the more physical team is going to win this one. And Yankton has been by far the more physical team the entire game.
So Liam Villanueva back out onto the field. Again, he's kicked off plenty of times here, does a nice job, and that's the Yankton Bucks run a 2-kicker scheme here. Villanueva on kickoffs, Ortiz on extra points. That one all the way back to the Kernels' 1-yard line, and that's where they'll return it. That one stuffed at the 18-yard line, and what a play there by Jolton Reimnitz-Hahn of the Bucks. He jumped on the return man, and he wanted a piggyback ride, and he brings him down.
And, some would maybe question the decision of the return man to even field that kickoff in the first place. If it goes out of the end zone, it's a touchback. But when you're down 34 points, you really got to try to make something happen whenever you can.
And if they've watched film, though, on Villanueva, he's had it bounce on the 1-yard line, and it stays in play. 1st and 10 here, the Kernels at their own 18-yard line. Into motion goes Caden Allen. Now a handoff up the middle to Allen. Dives forward, got about 3-4 yards on the carry.
And something I want you to watch for future reference, Zach, is this Bucks defense is really starting to show cover 1 a lot, and they're really starting to show pressure. After a gain of 4 like that, don't be surprised if maybe the Kernels pop a big run here soon.
And they do give them 4. That my mistake. That was Logan Bessler on the carry, and that can be confusing with the Kernels, how they run their offense. You never really know who's getting the football. And so that one in the hands of Logan Bessler is now right to the fullback, right up the middle, goes nowhere. Yankton's defense stands strong. A pickup of 1, maybe 2 on the carry.
Owen Eidsness was the man to come in and Carson Kroll was the man to come in and make the initial contact for the Bucks defense, and he was able to lay a pretty big hit on that fullback.
They did give him up to 2 yards, must have fallen forward in that pile. 3rd and 4 situation here, a strong eye formation as they'll fake the handoff, throw it, Hazelhorst, interception number 2 on the night. Makes it up to the 21-yard line. And Cale Hazelhorst, now a 2-interception lead on Tegan LaCroix. He's going to let him hear it, but Yankton takes over yet again.
Every youth position coach in the world would be happy because the safety did exactly what you're taught to there. He stayed home. He didn't get sucked in by the play-action fake, was able to stay home. Quarterback just misses the pop pass, and it's an easy interception for Cale Hazelhorst.
As you mentioned, Hazing just kind of missed that throw. He just overshot it, and now Yankton takes over. Sidlacek up the middle, has plenty of room to run, moves the first defender across the first down line. He'll pick up 11 on the carry. What a play. Sidlacek is on a roll tonight.
And Luke LeBrun, the man who made the tackle for the Kernels, and he absorbed a lot of contact from Sidlacek there.
So 1st and goal from the 10-yard line here for Yankton. Again, they want to go up the middle. This time Carson Kroll looks like he's in, and they'll get about halfway to the end zone. As Tate Bestie no longer in this game. And trying to see who actually is on the carry.
Easton Feaser's the running back on the carry there, Zach.
Easton Feaser, a pickup of 5. And now another carry, lowers his shoulder, but he'll be swarmed by Kernels defenders. Picks up a few, 2nd and goal now up to about the 3-yard line.
And Feaser maybe wasn't as patient as the other running backs here tonight. He tried to get outside a little fast there, and that outside linebacker able to keep contained and not allowed him to get many yards.
So Jackson Kudera right now is in at quarterback instead of Tate Bestie. Kudera, a real chance is that. A handoff up the middle again, stuffed short by the Kernels. A flag does fly. But Kudera, he's going to have a real shot at taking over this team and starting quarterback next year, but he's going to have competition with Tegan LaCroix. We'll see if Feaser on the carry. Got about 2 yards, but we'll see what the call is if it pushes Yankton closer to the end zone.
And that flag was really late after the play, Zach.
Definitely feels like one. Yep, a face mask, and that will be half the distance to the goal, so they're going to move it to about the 1-yard line, and you feel like Yankton's got to be able to push it in.
And that's the second time we've seen that from this Kernels defense tonight. Yankton gets down into the red zone, and they commit a penalty to give them a free set of downs.
And now some pre-snap motion. This one might be moving backwards, but it'll be 1st and goal for Yankton still, and they've got to be happy with that. Now that was the It'll be the third penalty on both sides, their first of the second half. One touchdown here away from a running clock, though, Patrick.
Riley Mortenson's going to be the offensive line that gets off the false start call.
Ken Jackson Kudera has now taken over as the quarterback of this squad for Yankton. Wishbone here with a receiver on each side, puts his guy into motion, hands it off. Easton Feeser up the middle, got a hole, finds a seam into the end zone.
Really good physical run from Easton Feeser, get the 6-yard touchdown, and he got hit right at the line of scrimmage and was able to drag a guy with him all the way to the end zone.
So for Easton Feeser, runs in his first touchdown of the year. Not his first touchdown, but first rushing touchdown of the season. That one will go for 6 yards after the false start makes it 40-0. The Bucks lead, 7:13 to play in the third quarter. Plenty of action left here tonight, but Yankton probably looking like they're going to win this one, Patrick. Ortiz, another attempt at an extra point. It's blocked. Mitchell got their hands up and blocked it. So the score remains 40-0 as we take a break. We'll be back in a moment on Classic Hits 106.3 in Yankton, streaming on YouTube.
Authentic Mexican food goods with the family touch is here in Yankton at Angela's Mexican Store. From fresh produce and meats to the spices and the snacks you miss from home. Traveling or just moved? No problem. They accept money from many different countries. Check out the different kinds of money on the wall. Family owned, family loved. They treat you like family. Angela's Mexican Store, where culture meets community. Stop in today.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
$7:13 to play here in the third quarter. Yankton leads at 40-0 over the Mitchell Kernels as they try to come out with a regular season finale victory over the Kernels. Joe Quintal Field is never an easy place to come into as the visitor, but Yankton has done great so far tonight. A 40-0 blank on the scoreboard right now, and we're going to see some, names that don't necessarily always get in the ballgame. We saw Kudera as the quarterback, as Villanueva again boots it away to the 2-yard line is where it's caught. Kernels will return it. They'll get up to about the 20-yard line, and as usual, don't get much more. They'll be stopped at the 21-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Kernels again. Now a running clock here in this one. Clock will only stop on touchdowns and timeouts called by the teams.
Something you always get really excited to see is when a team can get up like this, get some of those younger guys in and allow them to maybe make a play or two before the season gets into the playoffs.
That's exactly. If they're going to be needed in the playoffs, you'd like for them to have seen some reps. The week before is the perfect time to get some opportunity, and we are going to see a lot of that here now. Muth maybe runs a little bit more of his starters on defense than he will offense, so we'll see. As right up the middle, a designed quarterback run falling up to the 26-yard line, a pickup of 5 for Hazing.
Cover 0 shown on by the Bucks defense, so that means if the quarterback, if Hazing could break through the defenders there in the front line, there is no back-end defenders if he gets through the first line.
And Yankton's kind of played that way on defense. They play up hard and heavy. They're saying, they're almost daring the Kernels, take a shot. We like our guys' odds because we've got some athletes. And that's really where Yankton has had a lot of success against teams, is just their athleticism. 2nd and 6 here. Hazing puts this one into the air. Again over to Smith. And that one is going to be a pass interference on Miles Drotzman. Again, looked like he didn't turn around his head to try and make a play on the ball.
Yeah, just like that penalty before on the Kernels. On this time, it's going to be on the Bucks. Drotzman unable to get his head around and even look for the ball. So with a lot of contact there, the refs are going to throw that flag every time, Zach.
And a quick score update again. I say it's an important game. It is. Brookings at the half is on top of Huron 8-6, as there's going to be offsetting penalties. There's going to be a hold on the offense and pass interference. And Patrick, even though it's offsetting penalties, feels like that one probably hurts the Kernels a lot worse than Yankton.
Yeah, that was going to be a big play for them, 15 free yards and a first down. And now that completely offsets, so they're just going to replay the down. And you can hear the protesting from the Kernels fans. They didn't like that call at all.
So 2nd and 6 here still from the 25-yard line. So essentially our last play was that Brady Hazing 4-yard run, which puts him at a net gain of 1 yard lost on the carries. Hazing thrown down behind the line of scrimmage, nowhere to go.
Oh, and the fans here for the home side want a flag on there just for unnecessary roughness. It looks like he maybe ripped him down by his shoulder pads. That was number 64, Drace Gaskins for the Bucks there on defense, and he just hammered him straight to the turf.
Drace Gaskins, certainly a heck of a player, absolutely threw Hazing down. And you got to feel for Hazing on that one. Hazing, a sophomore, goes up against Drace Gaskins, 250-plus pounder defensive lineman. He stands no chance.
That's what they call it in the old days, ragdolling somebody, Zach.
3rd and 9. Hazing will be forced to pass. Has some pressure, but it's a design screen. That one caught into the hands of Bessler. Ball's on the ground. Yankton's got the recovery.
Are they going to signal him down before the ball came out? Nope.
They're going to say a 13-yard pickup into a fumble as that one in and out of the hands of Logan Bessler. Yankton gets another fumble recovery, and it's been all Yankton so far tonight. 3.5 to play in the third quarter, 40-0, and they've got the ball in Mitchell's territory yet again here.
And that's something, if you're the Kernels, that really, really hurts. That ball has been on the turf a lot tonight, and a couple times you're lucky enough that your own man can jump on it and you can keep possession, but this has been a common theme all night for the Kernels offense.
And Logan Bessler, that's his 2nd fumble of the night. We've got a timeout called by Yankton, another Lindsay Echo Water Systems of Yankton water break. We'll take that break and be right back for the remainder of the third.
The Bonesetter Chiropractic, Yankton. I'm Dr. TJ Stotes. When you need chiropractic, we're here. We use a hands-on approach, decompression traction, electrical stimulation, acupuncture, and state-of-the-art examination techniques. We're happy to offer exercise and supplement advice as well. The Bonesetter Chiropractic, 215 Mulberry, Suite 9, Yankton. Call or text 605-401-5701. Bringing you comfort when there's discomfort.
Interior Technicians.
Jerry, I need your help. I'm in a real pickle.
How can we help? We clean carpets, furnace and duct cleaning, mold remediation, fire restoration, water damage restoration, office cleaning, and much more.
No, Jerry, I'm in a real pickle. I'm stuck and I can't get out. Hang on, I'll send you a pic so you can see what I mean.
Oh my gosh. When you need it clean, call the Intech team, fixing pickles since 1984.
And back on the field, Yankton with a 1st and 10 on Mitchell's 35-yard line here after the fumble recovery for the Bucks. And again, it's Jackson Kudera is in as the quarterback. Jolton Reimnitz Hahn as the back. He'll take the handoff here. Tries to set the edge. Brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Colton Smith, a great play, and a loss of 2 by Reimnitz Hahn.
And Reimnitz Hahn, not the biggest back in the world. As soon as he made contact with the defensive end, he really had nowhere to go, and just a really good play from that near side defensive end for the Kernels.
So 2nd and 12 here. Again, Yankton's going to be going deep into their roster here, probably the remainder of the game as it's 40-0. But again, just really great to be able to see some of these young players get opportunities at the end of the season right before the playoffs. 2 receivers on the right side, 1 to the left. Jackson Kudera works from the shotgun, hands it off again. Jolton Reimnitz Hahn gets up to the original line of scrimmage, 3rd and long on the way.
Big block from the junior offensive lineman, Logan Burnt, and he was able to make sure that the halfback had got an extra 2 yards on there.
3rd and 10 now. We'll see if we get a Jackson Kudera pass attempt. We've only seen a few so far on the season. You'd love to be able to see an attempt here for the young quarterback. Only a sophomore. You'll have him for the next couple years should he start next year. But again, Tegan LaCroix is going to be in that competition as well. Kudera lofts this one up in the air at the 20. It's picked off. The first turnover of the night by Yankton's offense, an interception thrown by Kudera. And while we just said we'd like to see a pass attempt, this is one he's probably going to watch and think, All right, how do I learn from this moving forward?
If you're Jackson Cooter, you knew immediately if you watched him, as soon as that ball left his hands, he wanted that one back. He knew he didn't have quite enough on that ball and he couldn't quite get it to the receiver.
1st and 10 here for the Kernels. 80 seconds to play in the third quarter. Mitchell will start from their own 24-yard line here. As Yankton's defense yet to give up any points, they look to keep it that way. A handoff here behind the line of scrimmage is where that'll go. Colton Smith brought down a loss of 1.
Number 28, Kalen O'Connor, the backside linebacker, able to come around, use his speed and wrap up the wing before he got back to the line of scrimmage.
So no gain there. Colton Smith, his first rushing attempt of the night. 45 seconds to play in the third quarter here. Yankton's defense got a stop on that first rush attempt. Strong eye formation, a fullback and a halfback behind Hazing. Hazing will pitch it out to Caden Allen. Caden Allen has some decent blocking, falls forward, and he'll pick up a few third and long on the way. Maybe got about 2. I thought he maybe had 3, but where the official's spotting him, I think they'll give him the 3. 3rd and 7 on the way.
Really good effort by number 72, Austin Stotes for the Bucks. Able to shed the block from the tackle, get to the outside and contain as that defensive end.
Under 10 seconds to play in the third quarter. We'll see if the Kernels decide to snap this one or just let the clock run out. Doesn't look like too much urgency. You got to imagine they're not snapping the football on this one, and that will wrap up our third quarter of play. It's 40-0. The Yankton Bucks lead the Mitchell Kernels. We'll be back with 12 more minutes to play to wrap up the regular season for the Bucks on Classic Hits 106.3 in Yankton, streaming on YouTube. Triple Time Rudy's on the corner of 16th and Broadway, Yankton. Stop in and check out their wide variety of items. Grab some snacks, whether you want chips, popcorn, or something sweet, they have it. Ice cold beverages, or when you need that boost in the morning, coffee. You can also grab the best locally produced meats, meat sticks, and cheeses in the area, guaranteed fresh. For those hot days, grab a Freezy too. Get all your car needs and 5 cents off a gallon when using cash. All at Triple Time Rudy's, Yankton.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small, just as it should be. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose, a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of choices to make sure you have the perfect coverage to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance.
And one final quarter of play here at Joe Quintal Field. 40-0 the Yankton Bucks lead. If you'd like to watch the last 12 minutes, it's on Yankton, streaming on YouTube. For the Kernels, they have 3rd and 7 from their own 27-yard line. Looking to put up some points here as they wrap up their regular season as well. Hazing on the option. Flips it last second again. Ball on the ground, but tackled for a gain of maybe 1. Logan Betzler, that would have been his 3rd fumble, Patrick.
That was a good effort by Betzler to get back on the ball this time. And now, if you're the coach, Mitchell's coaching staff, you got to start wondering, is that play even worth it? Because we've seen the ball on the ground a couple times now just off that speed option.
And Logan Betzler, that's his 10th carry of the night. He now leads his team in that category. But a total of 24 yards, 2.4 yards per carry all night. Kernels on 4th down here. Well, this late in the game, it looks like they're going to go for it here. Out of the shotgun here is Hazing. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Hazing flips it out. That one into the hands now of LeBrun. LeBrun gets the first down and a couple extra. And a big pickup there of 9 for Luke LeBrun.
That has been by far the Kernels' best play all night. That wing, it's the old wing around. They've run it out of both the wishbone and the spread formation, and it's been a very versatile play for him for easy yards.
So a pickup of 9 for Luke LeBrun. He's now up to 34 yards off of 5 attempts, so almost 7 yards per carry for him. 10:40 to play in this one. 40-0, your Yankton Bucks on top. Put into motion, here's Allen. He'll get it pitched back to him. Up the middle, has some good blocking. Still on his feet as he's dragged up across to the 45-yard line. A pickup of 9 for Caden Allen. That is his longest carry of the since his first carry of the night. His first carry went for 26 yards, and after that, 5 yards was his longest after.
Well, this is something you definitely expect to see this far into the game. A lot of that defensive line for the Bucks is extremely young and just getting much-needed reps going forward.
2nd and 1 here for the Kernels as they near midfield. Again, Caden Allen gets put into motion, and he'll then hand off his pitch to Luke LeBrun. Luke LeBrun dives forward easily enough for a first down and a pickup of 7. Luke LeBrun is running the ball efficiently. Right before that, he was averaging just shy of 7 yards per carry. Picks up 7 on that one and the first down as we cross the 10-minute mark here in this game.
And like we said before, that's been a very effective play for them, the end around, and especially when you can do extra stuff off it like that and do things like a reverse.
1st and 10 here for the Kernels on Yankton's 48 as they've crossed midfield here, taking the snap. Hazing right up the middle. They move it and diving up to about the 42-yard line. I think we've got a new ball carrier here as 40. It'll be Baylor Christensen, his first of the night.
It was a really good physical run from Christensen, just a simple dive play up the middle, and he's able, with a fullback as the lead blocker.
Picks up 6 on that one. 2nd and 4 as Mitchell now moving the ball well against this Yankton defense. Again, Yankton getting in some players who don't always see the field, and a run right back up the middle. Gets busted up around the 40-yard line about halfway through. As Christensen gets his 2nd carry of the night. 2 carries, 8 yards, 3rd and 2 on the way.
And now we're seeing the Kernels definitely alternate some of those running backs and get some other guys carries as well.
And so far tonight, 6 different players have a rushing attempt for the Kernels. If you look at Yankton, 6 as well. Now, Yankton really relies on Jay Sedlacek. He has a lot more than anyone else in this game. An option here for Hazing, who gets lit up, but into the hands of Allen it goes. Allen drives up to the 35-yard line, a pickup of 5, but I got to say, for Hazing, he's not a fan of what happened on that play.
Well, he definitely showing how tough he is, able to sit there and look at the pressure coming directly at him and still able to make the clean pitch to the running back and get another set of downs.
And really, him taking that shot is why they got that first down. As you said, you've got to draw in the defender till pretty much the point of no return. Unfortunately for Hazing, it means he's taking a shot. Hazing takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He's going to throw it to the far side of the field. This one caught LeBrun. LeBrun tackled about a yard short of the first down line.
They show that end around look again and use it as a play action this time. Defensive line able to bite on it and gives Hazing just enough time to float that ball out to LeBrun.
A pickup of 8 on that one here. Luke LeBrun, his first reception of the night. 40-0, your score remains with the Bucks on top big time in this one. Again, clock is running here in the second half with the Bucks up big time. And the Mitchell Kernels, though, driving the football right now. A handoff right up the middle. Caden Allen just ran into the defenders. I don't think he got enough for the first down. It's going to be 3rd and inches.
Really good job by that young defensive line. They're able to move the line of scrimmage backwards, and the running back's not able to get much of a push.
So a pickup of 1 on that carry for Caden Allen. That's his 12th of the night. He leads his team in rushing attempts. On the flip side, Jay Sedlacek with 16. But Jay Sedlacek really, hasn't had many carries in this second half, whereas Caden Allen has picked up a lot. Only 4 for Sedlacek since the halfway point. 3rd and inches. They go right up the middle. They'll get it with ease and some extra to the 14-yard line. They move the chains.
Really physical run by the fullback Baylor Christensen, and that's his only his third carry of the game, but he's already seemed like he's found his rhythm and is picking up ahead of steam.
A 12-yard pickup. It's his longest of the night. He's now up to 3 rushing attempts, 20 yards. Under 6 minutes to play. We're halfway through the fourth quarter here. Bucks still up big time as Mitchell, though, threatening to score for the first time of the game, and you know they'd really like to put some points up here. A pitch now. That one will go outside Caden Allen. Caden Allen with some room to run. Gets across the Yankton 5. Stays on his feet before he's driven back. Got up to the 4-yard line right at the first down marker. We'll see. Looks like they're going to move the chains. 1st and goal for Mitchell. A 10-yard pickup for Caden Allen.
It's a really good play design. Unbalanced eye. fullback is staggered off to just the right of the quarterback. Quarterback does a full turn. The defenders don't quite know who's going to get the ball, fullback or running back. Running back able to just get the edge and scoot up for a big gain.
First and goal from the 4-yard line here from Mitchell as they look to score for the first time here of the night. Man gets put into motion. It's Caden Allen. He'll hand it off LeBrun. LeBrun on the far side. Got a yard, and he's immediately stuffed. That's a play we've seen many times as you see the pitch back to Caden Allen, and then on the reverse, LeBrun gets it.
That's a good play by the linebacker, Triker Myers. He stayed at home. He was able to make sure that there was somebody there if in case the reverse came back around, and he was able to be there to make the play.
Again, it's a play we've seen frequently by this Mitchell offense. Sometimes it works great. Sometimes it doesn't. That one went for a yard. Second and goal from the 3-yard line here for Mitchell. Mitchell trying to push it in for a score here before the night is over. Out under center, they'll give it to Allen. Allen gets to the outside and runs it in for a 3-yard touchdown. Caden Allen gets Mitchell on the board. It's 40-6 with Yankton on top for the Kernels, though. They've just got to be happy they got the points on the board here.
That's right. You know you're out of it, but you can never actually give up, and you can always play for pride, especially here on senior night, able to get the score on the board. And, you know, maybe the season might be over, but you can say you fought all the way to the end.
So 4:15 on the clock. Again, the clock when it's running does stop for touchdowns and timeouts, so it will stop here possibly for the final time tonight. Kernels on for the extra point here to make it 40-7. Kick is up and kick is good. 40-7 your score. We'll take our final break here before we wrap up this one here on Classic Hits 106.3 in Yankton, streaming on YouTube.
For whatever plumbing needs that come your way, trust your local guys at Pfeiffer Plumbing and Heating of Yankton. Leaky faucets, boilers, or anything in between. Rest assured it'll get done the right way. Looking for new plumbing? You got it. Pfeiffer Plumbing and Heating takes care of residential and commercial, from houses to hospitals to banks. Pfeiffer Plumbing and Heating of Yankton takes away the stress and provides great results. Locally owned and operated, and proud to support Yankton Athletics.
Welcome to Wall of Fame, where style meets customization, specializing in crafting custom clothing and print shirts. We ensure every stitch and every print is of the highest quality, so you get the best clothes every time. We're here for all your promotion needs, and the best part, our process is seamless. Simply share your designs with us and we'll handle the rest. Get custom clothes for the best price. Wall of Fame.
We return just in time for kickoff here. The Kernels, for the second time tonight, they got their first touchdown as this one fielded around the 13-yard line for Yankton, trying for something to develop. Nothing will, as they'll be brought down at the 26-yard line. And Yankton's offense here, possibly for the final time of the night. 4:07 to play in the fourth quarter. 40-7, Yankton leads.
And now after getting points on the board here, Zach, if the Mitchell Kernels, I guarantee you that coaching staff is still not quit. They're still trying to get those boys to play for pride. They're telling them, hey, get a stop here, and we still have more time to maybe get some more points before we have to go home.
Would definitely feel good for the Kernels, who avoided getting shut out, as now busting across the line of scrimmage there. Smith. He'll tackle for a loss. They're gonna say got up to the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure.
That's number 27, Ryman's Hans again, and good effort from him. But like you said, I don't know if he quite got back to the line of scrimmage before he got wrapped up by a Kernel.
2nd and 10 here. Ryman Hahn, 3 rushing attempts, no yards. It's just been kind of tough here. Tough sledding, anyways. 2nd and 10 here. Jackson Kudero is going to roll out. Pass is knocked out, incomplete here.
That was good coverage from Luke LeBrun. And, he's kind of been the highlight for the Kernels tonight. If they had to find a bright spot, it would definitely be number 11.
William Rounds was the intended receiver for the Bucks there. 3rd and 10 here as Kudero's pass falls incomplete. 2.5 minutes to play here. 40-7 your score with the Bucks on top. Cooter puts a man into motion. All receivers to the left side of the line. Now drops back, has some time, now faces pressure, has to step up, loses the football, ball's on the ground. Yankton able to recover it. So it'll leave 4th and 9, but Mitchell nearly a big defensive play that would have had them in great starting field position.
And now the punt team comes on for the Bucks here, Zach, and like you were just saying, for the Kernels, get your stop. We can still get more points put on the board here, and if you're Jackson Cooter, that's one that maybe you're kicking yourself for, because you got it. You know, when you go to run that ball, tuck it and protect it.
Minute 45 to play here. We'll see if Yankton does play the game clock or not. Mitchell does have all 3 timeouts remaining should they choose to go for the points here. Punt is on the ground. Villanueva just has to reach out and grab it. It's now a 4th down stop, and the Kernels will get the ball. It doesn't even matter who recovered it because it was 4th down. So the Kernels will start with the ball on Yankton's 19-yard line.
And there's a big play there for the Kernels. You know you're not going to win the game, but now suddenly here at the end of the game, you're starting to pick up a little momentum and see some positivity for next year.
So it's 70 seconds to play here in the game. It's 40-7. Bucks lead the Kernels. We'll see if Mitchell goes for one final score here. Right now is the 10 seed in AA. A loss here probably is going to eliminate them from playoff contention unless there's some major seed points shifting here. 1st and 10, though, they start on Yankton's 19-yard line. 50 seconds to play here, and it looks like victory formation. A fake knee, I think we just saw. Instead, they'll flip it out for a 3-yard gain here on the carry there. Number 41 for the Kernels. That is Nolan Widstrom.
And Widstrom, good physical run there. Linebacker was able to get there in time and play the edge, so he wasn't able to break free.
Patrick, did I see that right? Was that a fake knee?
That's exactly what that was, Zach.
You don't see those too often. 16 seconds to play, probably the last play of the game, as this one lofted into the end zone. It's incomplete. That Mitchell crowd was hyped up and looking for a play. Instead, it falls incomplete for Brady Hazing and the Kernels as that wraps up the game. Your final score, 40-7 here, with the Bucks wrapping up the regular season with a 7-2 record. Now, seed points can always be a little confusing at times, but Yankton should secure a top 2 position in AA and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. The Kernels fall to 1-8 on the season, and the Bucks will be 7-2 to end the regular season, hoping to be one of those top 2 spots. Coming up during our First Dakota National Bank postgame show, lots to come. What we saw out of the game, the final stats, what's up next for the Bucks. We'll take a look at some of the other area games that are going on right now. And then we do have our Kaiser Heating and Cooling hot hand / hitter of the game. All on the way on Classic Hits 106.3 in Yankton, streaming on YouTube.
Yankton Rexall in the Meridian District is your Hallmark headquarters this holiday season. Buy your Hallmark Christmas ornaments, nativity scenes, willow tree, and precious moments there. Find wedding and anniversary gifts and single-serve Abdallah chocolates along with the new item, Gone Nuts. Yankton Rexall Pharmacy is there to help you with all your questions and prescription needs. Holiday shopping begins at the Yankton Rexall in downtown Yankton.
Hi, I'm Franny Kiefer with the Yankton School District Alumni Association. We strive to create a community of alumni and friends who support extracurricular and educational opportunities in the Yankton School District. Through scholarships, grants, innovative education opportunities, and staff appreciation. With us, you will keep connected to a community of Yankton School District alumni and friends all over. You can help continue to pay it forward and help future graduates. Register today at the Yankton School District Alumni Association website.
Your local KFC Taco Bell at 2504 Fox Run Parkway in Yankton offers 2 menus combined into one. Something for everyone at KFC Taco Bell. When your family's hungry and can't decide between crispy chicken and mashed potatoes or tacos, burritos, and protein bowls, well, You don't have to choose. Get the best of both worlds in one stop. Cool down with the legendary Baja Blast Freeze or heat things up with a variety of hot sauces. KFC Taco Bell Yankton. Why pick one when you can have both?
Kaiser Heating and Cooling is your hometown team specializing in all things heating and cooling, as well as heat and glow gas, wood, and electric fireplaces, humidifiers and dehumidifiers, and all styles of ductless mini-split systems. Whether you are building or remodeling, our team of innovative experts will get you the correct equipment and indoor air quality accessories you need for your home or business. Remember, Kaiser Heating and Cooling is your hometown team for all things heating and cooling for the past 77 years. Go Bucks and Gazelles.
Looking for a photo that actually looks like you, but better? At Meridian Photo, we specialize in capturing personality, not just poses. Whether it's headshots, high school seniors, family sessions, or team and individual sports photos, we'll make you look like a legend. We've just landed in the Meridian district of Yankton. Book your session today at meridian-photo.com or give us a call at 605-655-4598. Meridian Photo. Be you. You deserve it.
Looking to buy a home or maybe sell? Trust the name that puts you first. America's Best Realty. From your first showing to the final signature, their expert agents guide you every step of the way. Fast closings, top market value, and real service you can count on. Your dream home, they will find it. Selling fast, they will make it happen. Call America's Best Realty at 605-260-1600. America's Best Realty, because you deserve the best.
Larson Carpet has all your flooring needs. Step into their showroom to see a wide selection of all types of flooring. They have soft and luxurious carpet that's sure to bring comfort to your home. Stylized tile to make any room pop. Different color options of hardwood to make matching easy. And convenient vinyl plank for when spills happen. Of course, with the best customer service in the area. Their knowledgeable staff will make sure to answer any questions you might have. Larson Carpet, 212 Walnut.
Do you realize what your Yankton Hy-Vee has to offer? Aisles online, delivery, catering, fresh floral and bakery departments, pharmacy with drive-up, and online prescription refills, Hy-Vee Health Market, dietitian service, fresh seafood department, U.S. Postal Substation, take and bake for breakfast, and family meal deals. Yes, all that and more is at your Yankton Hy-Vee, located on the corner of 21st Street and Broadway Avenue in Yankton.
Dive into the delicious all-you-can-eat Asian buffet, featuring mouth-watering Asian cuisine like broccoli beef, General Chicken, sesame chicken, so much more. Or choose from a fresh selection of meats, noodles, rice, vegetables, Asian-inspired sauces, and watch them sizzle on the Mongolian grill. Plus tantalizing desserts, including ice cream. Get your fill at King Buffet and Mongolian Grill, North Broadway, Yankton.
On Classic Hits 106.3 in Yankton, streaming on YouTube. This is your First Dakota National Bank of Yankton postgame show. First Dakota has proudly supported the dreams and banking needs of their customers for over 150 years. They offer personal, business, and ag banking solutions for every stage of your journey with 2 locations, downtown and North Broadway, Yankton. They're also our corporate sponsor. I would like to take a second, too, to thank all of our Sportscaster Club members as well as our Element sponsors. Couldn't do these without you. We greatly appreciate it and love being out for these football games. Your post-game stats, the Mitchell Kernels running the football, Luke LeBrun, 7 carries for 42 yards. Caden Allen, 14 attempts, 57 yards, and a touchdown. Logan Bessler had 10 attempts, 24 yards, and a fumble lost. Brady Hazing, 7 attempts, lost 4 yards. Colton Smith, 1 attempt, no yards. Baylor Christensen, 3 attempts, 20 yards, and Nolan Widstrom, 1 attempt for 3 yards. Brady Hazing throwing the football in 4 of 11, 52 yards and 2 interceptions. Catching the football for the Kernels, Luke LeBrun, 1 reception, 8 yards. Logan Bessler, 2 catches for 17 yards. Also lost a fumble on the receiving end. Colton Smith, 1 catch, 27 yards. 3 total penalties for the Kernels for 18 penalty yards. For Yankton running the football, Jason Lachek. Well, it's the same as his first half stats. No, I got that wrong. Tate Bestie didn't throw a pass in the second half, but Jason Logic did have some carries in the second half. And it was 16 rushing attempts, 87 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Tate Bestie, 2 carries, 15 yards. Edley Amaro, 1 rushing attempt, 5 yards. Tegan LaCroix, 1 attempt, 2 yards, and a touchdown. Easton Feeser with 4 attempts, 15 yards, and a touchdown. And Jolton Reimnitz-Hahn, 3 attempts, no yards. Tate Bestie went 5 for 13, 79 yards, and a touchdown for the Bucks. Kudera threw 2 attempts, went 0 for 2, and threw an interception. Catching the football for the Bucks, Cale Hazelhorst, 25 yards on 1 catch and a touchdown. Abe O'Brien, 1 catch, 12 yards. Carter Boomsma, 2 catches for 31 yards. And Talon Kenny, 1 reception, 11 yards. For the Bucks, the cleanest game of the year. Only 3 penalties for a total of 15 penalty yards. On top of that, Cale Hazelhorst, a pick 6 and an interception. So now up to 6 total on the season. And Jacob Bivens had a fumble recovery. On that second fumble recovery, couldn't tell who got it, Patrick. So we are missing one there. But what worked so well for the Bucks here today?
I think first and foremost was they just played a very disciplined game. You know, maybe didn't have the offensive output that they wanted in the passing game, but they were able to, you know, as most coaches say, if you can run the ball, stop the run, and you don't hurt yourself with stupid penalties, you're going to win a lot of games, and I think that's what they did tonight. It was a very clean, disciplined game, and it was nice to see.
And it's time for a hot hand/hitter of the game, brought to you by Kaiser Heating and Cooling, Yankton's original and most trusted heating and cooling professionals for over 76 years. Kaiser Heating and Cooling, 808 West 23rd Street, Yankton. For tonight's game, we've decided Jason Lochek is the hot hands of the game. 16 rushing attempts for 87 yards, 2 touchdowns, as we're now joined by assistant coach Hale. Coach, feels great to get a win in the regular season finale, some momentum now heading into the postseason.
Absolutely. Our guys really wanted to come out and, set the tone right away. For us, this was a chance to win the ESD, and that's one of the goals we set out at the start of the year with, a chance to win a conference title and then ideally a state title. So there was some motivation there. We wanted to avenge some of those demons from a similar situation where we were on the road and probably media favored us to win the game, like out in Sturgis, and wanted to kind of avenge some of that and come out and play and put on a good performance.
40-7 the final score. In the last 3 games, the defense has given up a combined 21 points. They are peaking at the right time. What is working well for them?
I think they're just playing with confidence. I think, I keep going back to the Sturgis game, but that was probably the low point for some of our defensive unit. But that's the thing about our guys is they kind of bounce back, and they've gotten better, and every single week they've played with more confidence, and they're flying around, and I just think that's a credit to Coach Ole and Coach Schwach and Coach Topol, and then obviously the guys going out and executing, and that's just kind of the way football goes. You got to just keep improving every week. You got to play the next play like it's your last, and they're doing that for sure.
Special teams is really impressed as well. I mean, it seems like you guys consistently have great starting field position, and the opposition the opposite.
Yeah, I mean, that's a goal. I think for us, we just – we emphasize it's a third of the game, and Coach Muth, I'm very thankful he is a head coach that buys into special teams being very important. And ideally, we're just exchanging field position, but we want to gain as much either way when we exchange it. So it's a huge play, and we're lucky to have some kickers and punters that can absolutely smack the ball around. And then our coverage guys, we have a few that are just absolutely, cyclones out there. They just find the ball and tackle it every single time, like Kylan O'Connor and Jolton Remnitz-Hahn. I mean, they're just unbelievable, and those guys make my job pretty dang easy.
Absolutely. And now looking ahead to the postseason, you've wrapped up the regular season, a 7-2 record, very good.
Yeah.
Should be one of the top 2 seeds in AA. Right now, Brookings is on top of Huron by 1 point in the fourth quarter, so we'll see if you can jump up to that 1 spot or not. Either way, though, what is that benefit of getting to play at Crane Youngworth come playoff time?
Yeah, it's huge. Obviously, being at home is an advantage in itself. Our guys, I know we walked the field as seniors. We did when we played T the other night, but the plan is always to end the season with a semifinal game at home, and, it doesn't really matter. I could care less what color we'd wear in the dome if we were to be fortunate enough to make it that far. So, we're just looking to go 1-0 every week. And now Coach Muth and the staff, and we kind of all say, the start of the next season is upon us. So.
Well, Coach, appreciate the time. Congrats on the win. I'll let you get back with the team.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Again, that was assistant coach Hale here of the Yankton Bucks, who have won 40-7 over their Mitchell Kernels. As I had just mentioned, the hot hands of the game. Patrick, that's a player you looked to me and said, I think he's got it. What stood out about his game today?
Well, first and foremost, he was the cog that made the whole offense move. Your quarterback was off rhythm today, and it was obvious to start the game. It was Tate Best. He was just a little nervous, couldn't get his feet quite settled, and that when they were there, when they needed somebody else to lean on to make sure the ball kept moving down the field, they leaned on Jay Solachik, and he took that, and he literally and figuratively took the ball and ran with it.
I love that one, Patrick. So Jason Lachek, your hot hands of the game, brought to you by Kaiser Heating and Cooling of Yankton. Just a quick look at the standings. As of right now, Yankton in as the 2 seed. We'll see if they can jump to the 1 or not. Probably locked in for 1 or 2 after a win tonight. You hate to guarantee anything, but it feels like they're at 1 or 2. If the season ended with no change in the standings, they would host Sturgis Brown next week, and that is an opponent where they wouldn't mind getting their get back. But either way, there's a lot of shifting that's going to come. We'll just have to wait and see how all the seed points pan out. Keep it tuned on Classic Hits 106.3. We will let you know who they're playing, when it is, how to watch and listen live. For the final time tonight, I'm Zach Spear for Patrick Olson and Eva Hawley. Have a great rest of your night.
This has been a presentation of Yankton Bucks football on Classic Hits 106.3 and Yankton streaming on YouTube. Brought to you by our corporate sponsor, First Dakota National Bank of Yankton, and the following Sportscaster Club members: Midwest Insurance Agency, Murph's Appliance, Yankton Thrive, Stockman's Motorsports, Les Schwab Tires, MT and RC Smith Insurance Agency, Linda's Angel Crossing, Hy-Vee, Boss's Pizza and Chicken, Bechet, Elwood Dental, Raven Books, Floor Tech Cleaning and Restoration, Angela's Mexican Store, Yankton Rexall, KFC Taco Bell, SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab, Dragonfly, Slumberland, Larry's Heating and Cooling, America's Best Realty, Larson Carpet, Elkhorn Valley Bank and Trust, King Buffet and Mongolian Grill, Kaiser Heating and Cooling, Yankton Medical Clinic, All Seasons Power Sports, Winston Ray Funeral Home and Cremation Service, JR's Oasis, Intech Cleaning and Restoration, The Bone Setter, Kalen's Indoor Comfort, Triple Time Rudy's, Farmers Union Insurance, Meridian Photo, Graham Tire, Pied Piper Flowers and Gifts Yankton, and H&H Roofing. For everything Yankton Bucks football, tune in to Classic Hits 106.3 and Yankton Streaming.